Bing bada boom. And we are live. I just hit it real fast.
All right, can you hear me?
Indeed.
All
Welcome
right,
in, guys. Welcome in.
going on? What's going on? Hang
What
on, let me
is
double
going
check, make sure we are okay. We are up live. Let's see. All right, cool. So we are up live
by
on
viewers
YouTube.
that left because this wasn't interesting at the very beginning. Bye.
All right, all right.
Bye. See you
Well,
next time.
my name is Austin,
My name is Josiah.
and we are the
Super
super cinema
Cinema
super cinema
Super
bros
Brothers.
super cinema
Super
bros
Cinema
podcast.
Brothers.
Moshmo anatani. All right.
Cinema
Was he
Brothers.
Super
Cinema
Cinema.
Brothers.
You will always gonna be
We
Super
go cinema.
Cinema Bros
You
podcast
always
for the
gonna be
movie reviews every week.
Oh, oh,
All right,
oh.
all right,
Super and cinema. Okay, anyways.
all right, we're good. How you
Yeah.
doing, man?
Hey, doing well. How are you doing?
I'm hanging in there. I'm doing all right.
Okay. How is you doing out there in the universe? Hmm?
Yes. How is you doing?
Pardon me. Pardon me. How
All
are you?
right.
How are you? So today, we're talking about this little Netflix movie that came on to Netflix like 2 years
Not a
ago.
movie. This was a
Series.
9
Series.
episode series,
I apologize.
J
I
series,
apologize.
J drama.
This is a J drama indeed.
By the name of First Love slash
Sukhoi.
Hatsukoi,
Mm-hmm.
Hatsukoi, which is
Yeah.
Japanese for first love.
Yep. This series has been on Netflix since like what, 2024?
22,
22?
almost 4 years.
Oh, I
Almost
didn't
4 years.
realize it was that long ago.
Yeah.
All right, look, guys. We wanted to talk about this for a little bit. And boy, the movie selections that we had this week. Mm. Nobody wanted to place a movie around Spider-Man. Nobody wanted to place a good movie around
Basura,
Spider-Man.
basura, garbaggio. Our choices were garbaggio. Yeah, so, I had come across this, um I'd come across the show when it first was announced back in 2022, end of 2022, and I thought that it was like maybe going to be like a little 3 episode little featurette thing that was just basically a vehicle to showcase like basically a glorified music video, like a little short film
hmm
based on the two uh Utada Hikaru or Hikaru Utada songs. I am a huge fan of Utada Hikaru. Um, these songs in particular, I'm actually not the biggest fan of. There's a whole corpus of music that she makes that's very kind of like forward thinking, kind of futuristic sounding, and I'm a huge fan of that stuff. These songs are just kind of love song ballads, power ballads, and I'm generally just in general, not specific to Utada Hikaru.
hmm
Forgive me, I was trying to like
Look,
interpose and mix
don't even
words.
worry. I'm about to mess up a bunch.
Yeah.
hmm
So this is not specific to Utada Hikaru, but just in terms of the music that I like anyway, I'm generally not a big power ballad guy. So for those of you who grew up in the 80s and the 90s, and you're like, Time Life Presents, it has like Michael Bolton, tell me how I'm supposed to live without you. Time Life Presents power ballads of the 90s, of the 80s. Like, I never liked those kinds of music. I never liked those types of songs. That kind of music just generally is not for me. Um, and so I was just expecting this to be a little runoff. I didn't expect it to be an entire series. So when I discovered that it was an entire series and that they make ample use of the one song, the original First Love song,
Yeah, they definitely do.
at the end of episodes and like, at specific emotional high points and things like that. And then they use the second song, Hatsukoi, just at the very end. And I think somebody told me a long time ago that like it was being used by another Japanese drama, another J drama. And so they only used it at the end of this one. Um
Hmm.
that's not really, is that technically a spoiler? I guess, but whatever. I mean,
I
the
thought there was the
series is
same song for half a second there.
no, they're two songs, they're two separate songs.
Yeah, but they
And they
both
were
mean the
made.
same thing. One mean is the words in English.
One is First Love because it's in English, and
Yeah.
then that was the first song that came out in her first album, I believe, which is like the biggest selling album in all of Japanese history. It's the
Dang,
highest
still?
selling record. Yeah.
Ooh,
I think it sold like 12 million records or something like that. Yeah, it was like huge, 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 huge. It was like
yeah.
the biggest deal in music. And then like over a decade plus later, maybe 15 plus years later, somewhere thereabouts, she had Hatsukoi,
Mm.
which is there's really no English title. There's no English words in that song. That's just a strictly Japanese song. And in the original First Love, you will always gonna be the one. Like, part of the chorus is English. Okay, so just to you can look up both songs and they're very different songs. But this series was based on both of them. And so anyway, I was
First question, as you guys
yeah.
can see, side tangent. I'm eating some popcorn right now because look, Austin's going to be carrying a lot of heavy duty in this episode. I'm just sitting back, enjoying the show. No, I'll be contributing for sure.
I mean, you did watch the series.
I did.
All right.
Yeah. I watched it a
Things
few months ago, so my memory might be a little shaky. I know. Just a
Yeah,
few
this
months
was
ago.
this was this was very popular when it released in 2022, end of 2022.
Mm-hmm.
They had a big rollout for it. You
Mm-hmm.
know, uh, eh, it stars two very very well known actors, Hikari Mitsushima and Takeru Sato. So if you've ever watched the Rurouni Kenshin movie series, the guy that played Kenshin, that's Takeru Sato. He plays uh, the main love interest, one of the main characters, and
All
Hikari
right, for y'all
Mitsushima.
y'all Americans out there, he played the son of Ken Watanabe's character in Godzilla. He was
Did
in
he?
Godzilla versus Kong. Yes.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I don't remember that. I didn't
He,
see that.
he was in there for like a half second.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And Hikari Mitsushima, she's not as recognizable outside of Japan or outside of Asia. So she's been in numerous TV J dramas and has been in numerous movies. Have any of them really crossed over to America? Not that I'm very aware of. There is a song that she did with a Japanese producer called who goes by the name Mondo Grosso. That was a very very popular song. It was called Labyrinth.
Mm-hmm.
Um, it's like a really high kind of techno melodic vibe song where she's dancing around. Maybe you caught it. Maybe you caught memes of it. But otherwise, she is a singer. She is a vocalist and she is an actress and she does a lot of voice acting as well. But she's not as recognizable a face outside of Japan, I would argue. So you might not be as familiar with her if you're not into the J drama scene to begin with.
Yeah, I
But
actually
yeah,
wasn't familiar with her. Although, funnily enough, I had seen her in one of her songs, like I don't know, a couple years before. Just didn't
yeah,
wind up making the connection by the time I watched this series.
yeah. She actually makes really forward looking music. Really interesting, kind of like on the avant garde of like
Mm.
Japanese techno pop kind of. I'm not even sure if that's the right designation. Kind of like vibe music. But she's actually, yeah, she's very talented. She makes really good music, and she's a dancer. She does all the artsy stuff. So
Dang.
okay, so and there's a
Unfortunately,
bunch of
your
other
video
people.
connection is definitely betraying you today.
It
Um,
is. Oh,
yeah, unfortunately.
uh-oh.
Hmm.
Okay. Oh, am I freezing? Oh,
You've
I'm
definitely
having.
been
I don't know.
frozen for the last like 10 seconds.
Okay. All right. Well, sorry, legitimate. I don't know what's going on.
We'll just have to plow forward.
All right.
Unfortunately, there
Hopefully
it came back. Came back.
All right. Am I back?
Yeah, it might happen every now and then, but yeah, it's okay. We understand
All
that it's a
right. So,
possibility. So yeah, you still can hear that amazing voice that he has, even if the video
right.
drops off.
Thank you. Okay. So we're kind of doing some of the pre-spoiler talk. Let me do the synopsis, and
Hmm.
then we can pretty much jump into our speed runs, and then we'll get into spoiler territory.
Okay.
All right. So First Love follows Yae, a single mother working as a taxi driver, in Harumichi, a security guard with a strained engagement whose paths cross again in present day Sapporo without either fully understanding why the encounter feels so significant. Told across two timelines, the series traces their teenage romance in the late 90s, a bond built on quiet gestures and unspoken devotion, alongside the present day, where fate keeps drawing them back together despite the years, choices, and separate lives that now stand between them. As fragments of their shared past resurface, both must reckon with what was lost, why it was lost, and whether the connection they once had can survive everything that's happened since. The series is a meditation on memory, fate, and the ways first love shapes a life long after it ends. It explores how trauma and loss can sever people from their own histories and what it takes, sometimes literally, through the senses and objects tied to the past to reclaim what's been forgotten. Threaded through both eras are themes of duty versus desire, as characters repeatedly choose sacrifice, family obligation, or practicality over their own hearts. Ultimately, First Love asks whether two people who were once meant for each other can find their way back across time, distance, and circumstance, and whether love delayed is love diminished or simply love waiting for its moment. All right,
Thank you,
not bad.
Claude. Okay. Merrick Wolf, welcome in. Good seeing
What's
you again.
up? Hang
What
on.
is up?
What's good? Don DeMarco, Marco. Good to see you. All right, we're talking about a J drama today. Uh, this is, a little departure from things that we normally talk about, but
We don't get this option, this chance very often. I mean,
yeah,
partially because,
there's always a
I
movie
mean,
out.
as you know, there's like tons of movies coming out every week. There are interesting films that like pop up, and I look online on, and Rotten Tomatoes or something like that. What's coming, or even the yeah, and unfortunately, a lot of films just aren't playing in the area. Maybe it's just like a super tiny release or whatever. Yeah, I don't really see too many Japanese films pop up most of the time. I think we'd have to go somewhere like I don't know, lamely or whatever you call it to potentially watch more specific foreign films. But yeah, anyways,
Interesting. Okay, so we kind of covered a fair amount. Do you want to just jump into the speed runs?
yeah. Let's jump into speed runs. Let me get mine out of the way. Mine is gonna be a fascinating one. Yeah.
All right. Oh yeah, go ahead, go first.
Okay, let's do that.
You got
All
your
right.
record ready?
Yeah, hitting recording now. All right, so it's recording. Let me look at the. First Love. This is a Japanese J drama series that dropped on Netflix a few years ago. It stars Takeru Sato and Hikari Mitsushima, directed by and screenplay written by Yuri Kenchiku. This is maybe like 9 or so episodes long. Most of them are, about your standard length. This is, I mean, like I said, this is a J drama. This is a really extremely solid one. It was a bit slow for me in the get go. I think I watched the first episode a couple years ago and then was not fully caught by it. I think it's a bit of a slow burn. Maybe it also depends on like what kind of mood you're in. I think I had to be in a mood where I wanted to watch something a little bit more dramatic, I guess. Just a little bit more melancholic, thoughtful, emotional. And then sometimes, got to be in a different mood to watch a foreign film in general. I know it sounds terrible, but yeah, but that's just how it goes every now and then. But once I got into this story, once I was hooked and just along for the ride, I was along for that ride. My wife and I watched this across a few nights, and we were looking forward to watching every episode. I think after like the first or second episode, it's good. I think if you already like this genre, you probably are more than aware of it. Potentially have watched it. If you're on the fence, whether you're going to watch it or not, definitely check it out. It's along the lines of, what thoughts are coming? What movies are coming on my mind right now? Nothing. Nothing is coming on my mind because this is a one of a kind series. All right, so if you like Japanese stories, if you just like romantic stories that are told in potentially slightly realistic ways, slightly fantastical ways, with some excellent musical choices woven in and out of the series. Very intentional musical choices woven into the series. Indeed, yeah, this is a good watch. Carve out a few like a nice weekend, potentially like you see in this poster in the wintertime to just grab a blanket, snuggle up with your loved one, and watch something extremely pleasant. Yeah, I recommend it. Stream it. I would say watch it in theaters if we were in theaters, but this is a stream it. Yeah. See you guys.
All right. All right, it's my turn. So here we go with my speed run. Let me know.
Okay, I am recording whenever you want.
All right. First Love, Tatsukoi. Japanese drama brought to us by Netflix, starring Hikari Mitsushima and Takeru Sato, and a host of other well known Japanese actors and actresses, and some newcomers. I was really taken by this series. I am generally not very much into J dramas as it were. They normally end up looking like Spanish soap operas, just in Japanese. And culturally, I find myself getting annoyed with like the male lead oftentimes. I feel like why are you doing things that way? Like I'm an American watching a Japanese cultural artifact, and sometimes that's just like, yeah, I wouldn't do things this way. Uh, I wouldn't spend this much time. I wouldn't waste this much time. I wouldn't do this. I wouldn't do that. I was largely able to just really kind of go along for the ride on this one. Um, this is a show that the story rides on a lot of serendipity, and so you just kind of go with it. Things that happen by chance or don't happen by chance, and it's largely very pleasant to watch. And I really ended up liking this one. This is very stylized. This is the clothing and the colors, the color palette. Every scene is stylized around a certain color, normally a red or a blue. I think they even said Yuri Kanchiku. They called it like Kanchiku blue, like the way a lot of the scenes looked. Um, there's definitely a certain film grade. There's definitely a bloom filter. Kind of gives it kind of sometimes an ethereal, dreamy aesthetic, a certain quality as you're watching it. There sometimes they just slow things down. The slow motion is used to good effect in this series, and um, the acting is done really, really well. I I'm always keeping an eye out for, like, are people doing things that are morally correct? And if I allow that Japanese folks have different interpersonal boundaries than I as an American do, very, very different interpersonal boundaries of what's considered acceptable and not acceptable. And we'll get into that in the larger review, but if I accept that they're different and the lines they draw are different than the lines that I would draw for a healthy relationship, then I can just kind of go along for the ride. And yeah, this ultimately didn't cross too much of a line to where they couldn't get back from it. There are things that happen, and we'll talk about that. But there seems to be an understanding of right and wrong to a certain degree within the confines of Japanese interpersonal boundaries, which again are different than mine. But yeah, this show threads a certain line, and I feel ultimately it threads it effectively. Um, there are parts of this story that I could not care less about. There are characters and B plots that I could not be less interested in. And you know what? I'll even go so far as when we get into the spoiler section, I'll talk about how I speed run through this show. Because I've actually really enjoyed watching the show on a number of occasions, and there's certain scenes that really resonate with me. And I think it warrants repeat viewings just for me. Um, but yeah, I thought this was really, really good. I enjoyed it. Uh, and I think that if you want a Japanese drama that feels a little bit unique and distinct from other Japanese dramas, I have seen Japanese dramas, I have seen Korean dramas. Um, this one feels unique and distinct amongst them. It looks like it's filmed more like a film and less like a J drama. It doesn't have that kind of, again, kind of Spanish soap opera like look, and so you can just kind of enjoy it for what it is and the visual presentation. I really like this. I thought this was just going to be a puff piece, a vanity piece, celebrating the anniversary of Utada Hikaru's songs that came out, and uh, she has very, very fleeting reference in the overall story. You see the CD, you see a poster, things of that nature, kind of what you saw in the trailer for this. And after that, it's its own story. And so I was really I was pleasantly surprised by that. I thought this was going to be just like a glorified music video short film, and it turned out to be a whole lot more than that. So this is a Netflix original, so obviously go and stream it. But yeah, I highly recommend this one. This stands out from other J dramas and other K dramas, and it's a beautiful film to watch, or a beautiful series to watch, I should say. So check it out. The acting is good. The cinematography, all the technical elements are done very, very well, and I think you're going to enjoy it. I've really enjoyed it. It's kind of a go-to for me every now and then, and I'm glad we get to talk about it. So yeah, awesome. Back to you, Josiah.
Sweet.
And cut. All
And we
right.
have cut. Like a Spanish soap opera. I almost interjected with less slapping. Man.
Yeah, less slapping. Yeah.
Sometimes those stereotypes wind up being true, though.
Yeah.
You wind up watching some Spanish soap operas. It's an
Yeah. So
obligatory element. Yeah.
yeah.
So, anyways,
Anyway, all right. Is there anything we want to say that we haven't already said before we just jump into spoilers?
yeah, there was something else I was gonna say. I was gonna say, you were talking about his watching J dramas. Often, you wind up coming across protagonist male characters that you're like, not rocking with this dude. Which
Yeah.
brings me to a surprise Obsession review, mini review. Obsession, goodness gracious, guys. Yes, this is well done. There's some great acting in this for sure. It was not scary for me. You wind up taking away the audio track, scariness, creepiness disappears. But the primary thing is, I hate this main character. Maybe that's really effective. The movie wants me to hate that character. Maybe it's really ineffective. I hated that main character, so I was fine with anything happening to him. Anyways, uh, great for you guys. You're making millions and billions of dollars. All right, stream it. See you.
Wow. All right. We got a whole movie review for a totally separate movie. All right. I haven't seen it, so I have nothing to say about it.
Yeah.
I've had a lot of people ask me if I've seen it. I'm like, no. My friend told me I wouldn't like the main character because he's a simp and a cuck, so I didn't even bother. And they're like, yeah, basically. I'm like, okay, cool.
Yep.
Everyone kind
Well,
of agree with that.
yep.
No, actually, so after work, one of my coworkers, she was trying to strike up some conversation with me. And she's like, "Oh, have you seen this?" I'm like, "No." My friend, exactly what I said, told me not to watch it because the character is cuck, whatever. She's like, "Yeah." And I said, like, I'm the exact opposite of that. So that really wouldn't work for me. And then I just walked away. I meant every single word. Yep.
Perfect.
Yeah. So,
Perfect.
all right. Can we just jump into
Yeah.
spoiler?
Mhm.
All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are exiting the spoiler-free portion of this live stream Netflix series review this week. Pero
Not a sponsor. You could be Tom Holland though. You could be.
that's his drink?
Mhm.
Are you serious?
Mhm.
I didn't know he had a drink.
He got a beer, alcoholless beer tasting drink.
Oh, there's no alcohol? All right, listen.
Well,
Ladies and gentlemen.
less than 0.5. You know, they never can get it all out. You
Oh.
know, they never can get it fully all
Oh.
out.
All right, whatever. All right, ladies and gentlemen, we are now leaving the spoiler-free territory of our live stream Netflix series review. If you have not yet watched First Love, Hatsukoi, it's 9 episodes, so come back and let us know what you think in the comment section. But yeah, if you're okay with being spoiled, then yeah, man, stay with us. Come join us. We're going to be spoiling this Netflix series.
Mhm.
This is your spoiler alert, spoiler alert, spoiler alert.
That
We are going to
said,
be.
this is a very rewatchable series. So even if you know the details, the journey is better than just knowing what happens. So anyway.
Right. So yeah, we are now entering into spoiler territory right now. All right. So, you know what?
I'm done with my interruptions. I am sorry, sir. I am over.
Let's start this. Actually, let's start this time. Let's talk about. I'm always wondering: would it be more fun to talk about what we didn't like or what we did like to start off?
Internet likes a negativity spree, so maybe we can try getting the negatives out.
Let's try to get the negatives out. All right, so let me just start. I have a feeling you're going to agree with me.
Oh yeah. Oh yeah.
So Yai's son Suzuru could not care less about this dude, except when he's making beats. If he's not making beats, I don't give a crap about his tutor, his math tutor, him at school.
Nope.
I don't care about any of his beef with his dad.
Nope.
Nope. The expectations on him and his crush.
Whatever her face is, I don't know. I don't remember what her name is.
Yeah, she has a very distinct look. She was also in Perfect Days, basically playing the exact same character, more or less.
Oh, that's right, she was. Yeah.
Yeah, she played the coworker's girlfriend. And she was actually way more annoying, her character. Actually, I shouldn't say way more. She was a little more annoying, a little more prissy in that one. She was way more relatable in this series. But yeah, she's essentially playing more or less the same kind of artsy girl.
That's right. How could we forget her name? Her name is Uta. It's sing basically, or song or whatever. Yeah. Not the good One Piece one. I'm sorry, guys.
Yeah. So she
she does fine for the role.
Expressionist art, kind of expressionist dance, artsy girl. That's fine. It's cool. it's not my thing. It's not for me. Uh, I'm just watching her dance. I'm like, man, um, she needs more black friends. But like, whatever, like I feel that about many things in life when I see non-black folks just doing or saying things
Well,
or
she
acting
she
certain
tries to
ways.
make some black friends, but it's not the right black friends.
Yeah. Listen. If you are not Asian or Asian American and you're trying to figure and you're trying to like, if you find yourself in that community or whatever, or you find them in a mixed community where there's a large segment of Asians, particularly Asian Americans, hot tip, if you want to find out who the coolest people are, find the people that are cool with black people. Because if they're cool with black people, that just means in general, they're just cool with people in general. So you're probably going to get along with them. They're probably going to be really easy to get along with.
Hmm.
If they're not weird, awkward for absolutely no reason at all, and they're just like comfortable around black people, African Americans specifically,
Hmm.
then they're probably just cool people in general. Um,
Not even just
so,
Asian Americans. I mean, I was yeah,
but
one of the times specifically, yes.
specifically,
This is very
yeah,
true. But
yeah.
one
So,
one of the times when I went to Japan, wound up making some friends with a singer as well, and she was definitely cool with the black people of her city. Even went on over to a place called America Town and went to a break dance club. Oh my
oh
gosh!
wow, was this in Tokyo,
No, no, this was in Osaka.
in Osaka? Okay, yeah. So, yeah, the people that are like most comfortable and most willing to go out of their comfort zone. Let's just keep it a buck.
Yep.
Asian Americans that are engaging proactively on their own admission accord with African American folks are doing so. Um, they're doing that which would be uncomfortable for them because there's nothing in their culture, nothing in their community that would ever put them in the trajectory of black people for the most part. The black people that they know enter into their orbit, not the other way around. You know, oh, I went to high school with somebody. That doesn't count because you went to high school. You didn't, you don't have control over the students. Now, if you get to get along with them, that's awesome. But like, proactively going to form meaningful relationships. Yeah, I mean, again, that just
To
means
be
they're cool
fair,
people.
this
Yeah,
is like you're saying. This is true of everybody. I don't know. We gone down this path a little bit, but any
yeah,
ethnicity. I mean, in a way, if any
yeah.
ethnicity can rock with black people, most likely those people are
and, and,
good.
and and just not be weird,
Yeah,
standoffish, awkward monsters,
yeah,
then yeah, they're just cool people.
yeah.
That's and if they are kind of weird and touchy and standoffish, nah, I don't really know. You're different from me. You don't look like me, sound like me, think like me. I don't know how to treat you like a human being. Then yeah, you're just it's gonna be you're gonna be pulling some teeth, And so
Hmm. Hmm.
yeah. Um
Not to say that they can't grow. It's just that yeah, it's going to be a little
yeah.
awkward.
But do you want to be the black whisperer for that group of people? No. The answer is no. Don't do it. Don't do it. Please. I'm begging you, don't do it. All right, um so you have old girl, and then you have the son, and he's like a simp for this girl, and he wears some of the goofiest outfits, some of the goofiest outfits in the whole series. I mean, there's a whole high fashion thing going on with everybody. There's this high like high Uniqlo fashion. For those of you who are familiar with Uniqlo, it's a Japanese clothing store. They're making headway here in America, particularly in the Southern California area. There's shops here and there. When I lived in Japan, Uniqlo was one of the only places I could go to shop because I am a bit taller than the average Japanese person. So the only place I could buy jeans and shirts and things like that was pretty much Uniqlo. And so shout out to Uniqlo. This is like Uniqlo super high, like the most highest end fashion variant of Uniqlo. Before you get into the really like avant-garde, high fashion Japanese apparel game, and there's a little bit of that in this show as well. But everybody's kind of like dripped out in this show. Um, but Suzuru, unfortunately, he just wears some of the goof. He wears like this weird sailor shirt at one point.
Yeah.
I'm like, bro, what are you like this Donald Duck sailor shirt? I'm like, bro, what are you like?
So
Come on,
they're
bro.
like you were saying, they're very intentional with color.
Yeah,
Kenchiku Blue. That might even apply to, yeah, I think Suzuru and his mom.
Oh yeah, it's
Suzuru and
all
his
color coded
father, for sure, yeah, they're always wearing blue in some way, shape, or form.
depending
Um
on the scene, or red, or
that well,
whatever.
like a different family's associated with red, typically in the flashback. Yeah.
Yeah, but I mean, the primary color in this show is definitely blue.
Yeah. Yeah, yeah,
The
yeah.
film grade that they use is blue. You see an awful lot of blue all over the place
That's that we're
in this
talking
show.
about negative right now. And yeah,
Okay, so yeah, going so
Suzuru,
again,
yeah.
Suzudu, his whole story arc. If they just kept it to like him focusing on the music, and I mean, because he makes okay, so Taisei Iwasaki, he's the guy that does the music for this. He also did the music for I think it was for several anime that came out.
Hmm.
The one where it's like the virtual reality one that just came out a couple years ago. Um,
Virtual reality?
oh, I want it's not Rose. I forget what it's called, but there's a whole bunch of like different J dramas and anime movies that I think his name is Taisei Iwasaki.
Hmm.
He did the soundtrack for.
Hmm.
So he's kind of in high demand. He did the soundtrack for this, and the soundtrack for this show. Okay, we'll talk about it later because this is right now we're doing negatives. The sun is like the biggest like drag on this whole series. Like I
Yeah,
don't see
it's
what's going on
actually
with him.
kind of a problem because yeah, I mean, we're
He's
in spoilers.
he's just not that interesting.
Yeah, well, I mean, that's definitely a part of it.
He's not that
There
interesting.
are some interesting elements there. There are some. But one, they wind up just like they push his character forward in success in a way that feels almost arbitrary. Like I get
Yeah.
how it happens, but it's like, oh, okay, I guess they just needed to make him successful so he feels like he's closer to his girl in some sort of way or whatever.
Right.
I didn't fully see them together. I think it's sweet to some degree, but this kid stalked this girl. Yeah, he straight up stalked her.
She even asked him, "Kimi stalker?" Like, "Are you a stalker?"
Hmm.
And then she found out, he
And
was
he
on
says no,
Instagram.
basically. He denies it. He's like, "What? Are you serious, bro?" I'm like,
I mean, he was ditching his mom to go try to find where she was dancing and practicing,
hmm,
and he knows everything about her. It's like, yeah, he's clearly obsessed.
this is a problem. Yeah,
Yeah.
this
Um.
shouldn't be modeled for people to go out and do. Like, track down
Yeah. See,
their
like,
internet crush,
yeah, and
internet
what he should have done
obsession.
is like, "Hey, I'm one of your oldest fans. I'm in the Sapporo area. I'd love to see you dance in person. Hey, where can I, where are you going to be? I see that you're doing it, and just meet up and, get a yes or a no that way."
Hmm.
He had to get Haramichi, the main character, the male lead, to like basically co-sign him, to
Yeah,
co-sign his stalking.
yeah.
Um, and
He's also
forgetting,
a fallback. You know.
oh, well, later on, yeah, you see, like, yeah, she's digging some other dude, and then he ends up being the consolation prize. Gentlemen, don't be the consolation prize. Don't do that. Like, um, well, here's the thing. Like, hmm, like they were actively hanging out and doing stuff while she decided to go date somebody else. Now, if he had put his bid in and she said no, he went on about his business, she went on about hers, and then they reconnected at some point later on. That's a little bit different, but he was actively being sidelined, and she was so much of a simp that like um by the time it happened, it was already too late.
Yeah. And did I get it
Um,
wrong? She's underage, right? And she works at like a weird bar club kind of a thing. Like,
the ages are not clearly specified.
yeah, yeah, okay.
We know that Suzuru's in high school. She may very well be in high school herself. Although it seems like she spends half of her time dancing. Like I think in Japan, you're only required to finish a middle school, and then like most kids go to high school, but technically it's optional. Like you go to high school if you want to go to college, kind of thing. I think. So there's some people, I just got to be free and dance. I can't be confined to the walls of a classroom. Derpity derp, blah blah blah, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Um, I'm not like the other kids. No, 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 no. So anyway, yeah, he was just the most annoying character of characters that were like annoying, like that were consistently part of the series. I just didn't. So when I speed run this show, I fast forward every single part with the kid. I just I speed right through. I don't even watch it because I don't care. The dinner table conversations with the dad about his future. Who cares? Could not care less.
I will get to a positive with the dad though later. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah. There's kind of in some of the flashbacks, even though he is kind of a dirtbag. I mean, he's a cheater, so um, uh, okay. The other big thing, the other big negative in this, the other big negative in this show, ladies and gentlemen, it is the kissing, the kisses. These are some of the most awkward, kind of like two people, and they're just kind of like these are scenes that clearly needed a foreign consultant. They should have called. Like they should have called. I could have set them straight. Um,
So, from what I understand, I don't think either of the actors are married or in a relationship either. I'm not saying that changes anything specifically. In some ways, it kind of does, but um,
listen, either you
they're
know how to
actors.
kiss or
They're
you don't know how
actors.
to
They're
kiss.
actors, though. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You're right. You're 100% right about this.
These kisses, I'm like, bro, like either. Listen, if you don't want to kiss, that's fine, but like, don't just like.
I mean, does it come down to Japanese culture? Is that? Do you think that's something that like they would off put way too many viewers? Like if they actually tried to make it look like they actually cared about each other in that way?
No, I've seen shows where they kiss normally. Um, listen, I'm not gonna put my listen. I'm not gonna put. I'm not gonna put my business out there, but like, um, no, stop. Come on. Listen, just speaking from limited experience. Oh gosh, this any way I say it, it sounds. Cheers, ladies and gentlemen. Um, no, no, no. Like kissing's a thing, you know. This was just bad kissing in this show. Like the kissing scenes were just like it it's only noteworthy because it's done so poorly in a few cases that like it just takes you out of it. And it's not all of the kissing scenes were bad. Like when they're in high school and he goes in for the kiss, you know, you see that in the trailer for it. That's fine. But it's like it's like the lips just they just kind of stay like this. You know, like I, I'm not gonna break down the anatomy of a good kiss.
I think you already have, but
I feel this
by
episode.
reverse engineering, by
Oh gosh. Listen, the kissing's bad. That's all I'm gonna say. The kissing is bad.
there you go,
Um,
there you go. That's all we need. Yeah.
yeah, I'll just leave it
Hmm.
at that.
Hmm.
To the point where it's like it takes you out of like I mean, if you've never I don't it's just bad. I'm just gonna leave it. It's just the kissing is
Full
bad.
stop.
Yeah.
It could have been improved a lot. Yes.
Yeah. 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 So
I'm trying to think of some negative
otherwise,
things myself, and I'm like, I'm drawing a bit of a blank. Um,
oh, okay, so there's one thing, and I don't know if this was because they had to, because they couldn't. Okay, so I don't know why this was done the way it was done. They literally just made up a fake train station.
oh, sure.
Okay, the only reason I know that now we've been to this train station, you and I, Josiah, we've been to the train station
Yeah.
where I used to live, Fuchu Station. there is like an air. It's not an air base, but there is like a Air Force military building. There's a Japanese and American flag, and it's right across the street, directly across from a park. We walked to that park. It was on my birthday. I don't know if you remember.
Yeah, I do.
And
Mhm.
yeah, so that's in the city of Fuchu in Tokyo. They completely made up a completely made up station because he was in Tokyo during this time during the 311 earthquake. So the earthquake was real. I mean, it's a major event, the Tohoku earthquake or whatever.
Yeah.
But they just made up because he wasn't in Sapporo. So like, and I'm looking. I was like, I know because I lived in that area. This is not a real train station. I don't know why they made a fake train station. Anybody that lives in Tokyo, particularly in that area, especially if you live on the KL line, like this is not a real train
Now,
station.
do you think they used a real train station from elsewhere and called it that train station? They probably
I
did, right?
probably because I think it was filmed in Sapporo. I think it was all filmed in Sapporo, so maybe
Okay.
for that reason they
Yeah.
had to. But there's a scene where he's walking in Shibuya. He's walking like the big crosswalk.
Yeah, that's
I
true.
don't know. Listen, by
Dang,
car
they
it's
were
probably only
filming this in
45 minutes.
Sapporo. Oh man,
I think most of it was filmed in
they were
Sapporo.
on vacation out there basically.
I don't know, maybe. I mean, it's probably pretty chilly, pretty cold,
Hmm.
pretty cool weather year round. I mean, it gets really, really cold in the winter. It gets super snowy, and then I think it's pretty chill in the other parts of the year. Anyway, so they just made up a station. I was like, okay, because I know all the Fuchu stations, and this is not one of them. So I'm like, okay. So I mean, that took me out of it. I'm sure if you're a Japanese viewer who lives in Tokyo in the Fuchu area or thereabouts, you're probably like, oh, that's not a real station. I don't know. I'm not exactly sure why they did that or why the need to do that was there, but that's a really niche thing. Like if you've never been to Tokyo, if you don't know, it doesn't matter. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, yeah, no,
That's
it
just
really
something that
doesn't.
I noticed.
Yeah, it could have just
Um,
been they didn't want to call this the Fuchu station when it didn't look like the Fuchu station. I don't know. Maybe.
yeah, it was all weird. So there's that.
Yeah.
So the other things I didn't like, um, mm, so okay, so the central dilemma for Harumichi is like, I'm getting along with this girl. I like her, but I am engaged to another woman. But I keep running it like so he does things that are up to a certain point,
There's
up to the point where
coincidence. Yeah, and then there's going out your way. Yeah.
yeah, okay, so yeah, up to like in episode, I believe it's episode 6. Um, everything is kind of permissible up to a degree in terms of
Mm.
his actions towards Yae. So Yae got into an accident when they were dating and she lost her memory. And so she doesn't remember who Harumichi is from the
It's a drama,
past.
folks. It's got to happen to somebody, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And so she lost her memory and so Harumichi clearly didn't lose his memory. He remembers her. He feels responsible for what happened. They had a big argument after at a dinner, and he was talking to her on the phone. And I guess I don't know. I guess she wasn't paying attention, or the driver wasn't paying attention. She got hit by a car, had head trauma, and she had no memory. She had amnesia. She had no memory of him or anything that happened before that, before like high school. She had no memory of it. And so from that point on, she starts living a different life. And then Harumichi kind of continues his life with the knowledge that she's lost her memory. And this was his one-time love and all this stuff, his first love,
Mhm.
all that stuff.
Yep.
So fast forward, now they're adults, they're living their separate lives. They kind of run into each other. He kind of discovers her. She's a taxi driver, and he looks over and sees that she's driving a taxi. And then he goes on a whole mission to try to find her. And then he ends up finding her by accident because Suzudu is her son. So then he it's a chance encounter. All right. So and then they just kind of they're texting each other. All right, is that crossing the boundary?
Mhm.
I don't know. Japanese people are different than me, so
It's crossing the boundary. Howdy, Shinobi 121.
Shinobi.
Welcome in.
Don DeMarco, Marco,
Yeah.
Polo. All right,
it
all right.
is.
So
It is. It is. It is. I mean, I would say 100% it's crossing the boundary.
I think to us, it's definitely crossing a boundary if you're in a committed relationship with somebody else, and you guys are supposed to be getting
Man.
married.
Hmm.
Um,
Yeah. 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 So,
so
I
I'm
mean, technically, yeah. This and what I'm gonna say afterwards, I feel like are negatives, but they're not like literal negatives. They're just like, oh man, like it's good storytelling, but it's also like, oh dang, that's yeah, that doesn't sit right with me. But it doesn't mean that it's bad for the show necessarily. So
yeah. So I'm
yeah.
like, I'm trying to I'm trying to be like, all right, their boundaries and like the kind of friendships they could have and all that stuff. And I'm just basing that just based on my own personal experience in real life and what I see in front of me and like
Hmm.
vis-a-vis Asian Americans, whatever, Asian Americans. And it's weird. Like it's like
No, I mean, hmm.
with their significant others, they're like not particularly affectionate, but with their friends, they're way more I don't understand it. So I'm trying to just be like, okay, maybe they're not doing anything, acting in an untoward manner or in bad faith based on their social understanding, relational understanding amongst themselves. So I'm I'm given a breadth, breadth, and a little bit of latitude. They can still be operating in good faith, honestly, according to their own the boundaries that are set in that culture. Okay, so
Yeah,
at one point,
maybe Hadumuchi felt like he had resoundingly closed that door, um, and then just could be in her life as a friend. Um, but
or like as a
it's
passing acquaintance or something.
yeah, but
And
it's very much playing with fire. Uh,
yeah, yeah, for
yeah,
sure. So like at one point, he's hanging out with the son. They're
that's
grocery
almost a step
shopping.
too far for me.
Well, I mean, that relationship existed before he realized that was his mom. So fair enough. And he's helping her, and he's helping him mac on the dancer girl, right? So he's like, he's big brother, he's trying to help her. And then
Hmm.
oh no,
Hmm.
and then he has a specific memory based on a conversation they had, and it sends him about like laundromats and how dangerous they are. And apparently, when they were dating, somebody stole her underwear or whatever. And so, like, he just went into like this whole, you know, he takes off, he starts running, because he knows the laundromat where she's at. And then he sees that her legs are exposed. So then he like, takes off his coat and covers her legs. There's
Guys, her ankles are exposed.
okay, sorry. No thighs, knees down, knees and shins. Head, shoulder, knees and toes, the knees and toes. That part, right?
Hmm.
Otherwise, she's fully clothed and she's wearing a long dress skirt, right? It's just her knobby knees to her feet are exposed. So he takes his coat off and he covers it because there's a guy watching who may or may not have been doing anything wrong. Like they kind of like had him looking weird. I'm like, are you throwing this guy? Like he may like listen, I'm just trying to get my laundry done. She fell asleep. Like he's probably doing nothing wrong.
Yeah, I mean,
You
he's
know.
over here looking at this guy that just walked into the laundromat and
Yeah,
is sitting
maybe
next to
he's
his
the
sleep.
creep. Maybe
Exactly.
he's the creep. We don't know. I don't. These people don't know each other.
Hmm.
So
Hmm.
assumptions can be made any which way, right?
Yeah.
Um, so then like he's sitting with her and he's just reminiscing. And part of this whole thing is like uh, it's a non-linear timeline in the story. So like he's going back and like he's it's almost like he's reliving it gives you the sense that he's reliving that entire period of time, right? And I can understand that. Like you're like, this isn't just a chance encounter. There's a whole lot of history connected to this. So I'm willing to go on this journey and say that what he's doing, he's operating in good faith, right? He's like he just had like this sense of panic and oh no, laundromats are dangerous. And then he goes and actually fixes her washing machine. And it seems like all right, he's ready to leave at that point. He's like, okay, he's ready to go. And then she invites him to dinner granted, he's already in her house, and you know, um, he'd already crossed the threshold of her door, to help her. They have the moment. He's like, "Oh, can you hand me the tool?" And tool, she gets really close, and then they meet. They lock eyes. Oh, that whole thing. Very,
Listen,
very
listen,
Japanese.
listen. No significant other in the world, I feel like, would be
Would be cool
okay.
with this.
Would be okay with their boyfriend or girlfriend or whatever re-entering any level of a relationship on a reoccurring basis with somebody that they were madly in love with, that they then had to separate relationship with, and is a relationship that just was dead ended by somebody else completely external from the situation.
Right. So I feel like the writing is trying to, like, maybe it's trying to give Hadamichi an out. Maybe if you look at it cynically, or maybe just according to Japanese culture, like this is permissible because you can just be friends with people like that. I
Might
I'm
be.
not sure.
It might be.
So,
You
and the reason
know.
I say it is because Hadamichi is never trying to be dishonest about it, right? It's in fact it's his Tsunemi, his fiance, who's always like cutting off that conversation and then running away into the door, right? She's like, "Oh yeah, so the lady, he's trying to explain, it's like which leads me to believe that he's not acting in bad faith. He's not doing what he knows to be wrong up to this point in the story,
Yeah,
right?
I'm trying to remember. Their relationship kind of already went awry before.
I
And
mean, they're
she
just kind
she
of like
has, well, I'm trying
that
to
relationship was
remember.
already on the rocks.
Yeah, she basically wound up saying at some point, more or less, like, I'm never gonna be able to leave this relationship. Like, you're gonna have to leave me, right? Um,
Yeah, she's like, "I'm a fixed star. I'll always guide. Like, I'm not gonna be
yeah,
the one to leave you,"
yeah,
kind
yeah.
of thing. So
Mm-hmm,
there's that part of it too.
hmm.
And essentially, Hadamichi is an F boy with a heart of gold, essentially, more or
Mm-hmm.
less, right? And the only reason he entertained this is because, you know, um, his love has no memory of him,
Hmm. Yeah.
and
Okay.
at some point you got to move on, right?
Now I will say also, yeah, they man, they're these are all mistakes that they're making. This is modern dating. This is dating in another culture. As a side tangent, that's actually on topic, so I guess it's not a tangent specifically. They wind up going back and showing us how Tsunemi and Harumichi get into their relationship, and like, wow,
The
yeah,
earthquake,
there's
bro.
actually yeah, a really great connection between them,
There's
and
the,
it's going well.
this is what I like about the series because like is like in one sense I'm like you're not doing things the best way, even if you are doing them in good faith, or you're not doing it in bad faith at the very least. Like yeah, again you're playing with fire. At the same time, he was never fully, his heart was never fully over to her. He couldn't. He still
Mhm,
felt responsible for what happened to Yai.
mhm,
And so the reason why he really got serious about the relationship is because he saw her freaking out after the lights went out at an earthquake in their apartment, and she has a she has a fear of darkness, of like the lights going out, 'cause that's so that whenever they slept in the same bed, he had to
mhm,
keep the light on because she got,
mhm.
remember, the whole story, she got locked in the room or whatever, and now she has, like, she's traumatized from that,
Yep, yep.
and he felt responsible for her, right? And he had no expectation that Yai was ever going to get her memory back. So, and in the meantime, she'd already gotten married and had a kid. So like,
Yeah. So,
I don't want to make excuses for people doing immoral things,
no. Mm-mm.
or crossing lines they should not be crossing. But again, like I said, there's a certain level of serendipity in this story.
Mhm.
Um,
Before
you
you go
already
too
saw that,
far,
like,
yeah,
huh?
no. Before you go too far, I was talking about their relationship for a half second. A little minor PSA on their situation. Okay, there's a scene where they wind up, Suru. That's her name, right? Suzuru.
Tsunemi,
Tsunemi. My
tsunemi.
bad. I told you guys to use the wrong names. Tsunemi, Harumichi. they've been in a relationship for apparently like a year or something, maybe living together for a year. They wake up and she is trying to still figure out what their relationship is.
Ladies want Superman who's Clark Kent just for them. It's biology, it's whatever, right? And they're drawn to a man they can't fully figure out or fully understand, who has options and can vacate the relationship at a moment's notice. And she's drawn to that. Whether she, I mean, she's a psychiatrist, mind you, so she knows on a certain level. This just goes to show you, like you could be a whole board trained certified psychiatrist and still make the goofiest goober relationship decisions. All your education is but decadence. Do you understand me? It is meaningless if she likes you. She could know better. She could be trained to teach you to do better, and she will still do worse. Gentlemen, if she
She was
likes you,
so
like
good about keeping those boundaries when they were client,
that's why she
patient.
liked him. I can make Superman Clark Kent just for me. And all of her training, all of her psychology, derpity, 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 derp, it means nothing. Nothing. Gentlemen, if she likes you, then she likes you. It don't, they will throw all caution to the wind. It don't matter. Um,
True.
you need a woman that rocks with you the way Tsunemi rocks with Haramichi. And shout out to Tsunemi because she
Yeah.
did. I mean, she got. I mean,
That rug was
she was a
pulled.
victim of circumstance.
That was
She was a
pulled so
victim.
slowly. That was the slowest rug pull ever,
Yeah,
man.
she
And
was
she
a
was.
victim of circumstance.
Hmm.
Um, Again, they weren't married yet, so like again, but when you start
But
shacking
this
up
is
and
the
living
this is
together,
exactly,
this this
exactly.
is this is what happens, you know. Like you are highly exposed
Hmm.
relationally and emotionally, you know, psychologically,
We're not
and
just the Christian prudes out here. This is actually what happens. This is why things become so complicated when you wind up getting into a level of relationship and commitment in a natural sense that should be only crossed and reached once you've reached a level of commitment in a mental, spiritual, relational
i.e.,
sense.
marriage.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Right, but again, this again in the writing and the shows, like she was warned about this by Haramichi's older sister. You remember they had the whole conversation. She's like, right, because she's deaf, so she doesn't speak. So like she's
Yeah.
writing down everything. You know, like he still feels responsible for this. She should have. I mean, her ability to put two and two together at that point should have been like, all right, I need to be really careful because he still has ties that bind to this other woman who he feels responsible for. Understandably so, right? We gotta talk about the mom too. Like the mom, Yai's
That was my
mom.
second thing I was about to get to.
Woo, bro.
Goodness gracious.
Oh, bro. Just when I that's like, oh, I think I'm gonna like this character. She did the just the dirtiest, those dirty dog. I mean, she put so many things in motion that never needed to be set in motion. Um, just out of like spite
Arguably
and
the
bitterness.
most important decisions in this series.
Yeah.
Oh,
Okay, so let me just wrap up on Tsunemi.
yeah.
Um, I really like her character.
Hmm.
I'm talking about like this is a real person. She deserves like an awesome guy. She deserves somebody awesome that's like fully on board because she's dope. I feel bad for her character, you know. Um, Again, she was warned. The warning signs were there. The red flags were there because this guy like he was broken by this situation, right? Listen, I'm at a stage in my life where I'm trying to be understand. I'm trying to be understanding to people and their brokenness and the things that they're holding on to
Yeah,
because of that brokenness
yeah, yeah, yeah.
and how it leads you to make decisions that you're not necessarily consciously trying to make. I don't think that Harumichi in this story is trying to hurt her. He's trying to do right by her, which is why they were in a relationship in the first place. But he can never quite commit, and you get a sense of that in the very beginning because like he's always late for important meetings with the parents, and he's just never fully there. And
that was after a time. That was
that's like the
after.
first episode. Like he wakes
Yeah,
up and
yeah,
he's
yeah,
late
yeah.
for the meeting, and the
That's
chance
true.
encounter
That's
of
true.
him giving the
Yeah.
first taxi, which had Yai in there, to the pregnant mother, the pregnant woman, and then he goes
Yeah.
in with the other guy, the other simp, who I want to knock on, but we got to get to what we like in a minute. But like,
Oh, for
I'll
sure.
I'll talk to him because there's things to talk about. Okay, so
Yep.
so
Yep.
Tsunemi, the way she was, it was a mess that could have been avoided, or maybe it couldn't have been avoided because, like, again, Japanese relationship boundaries, friendship, and where those lines get blurred. It's different. It's not me. It's not my worldview. It's not my culture. I don't understand it. I wouldn't go about things that way.
Yeah, yeah. I get the feeling that How Do Michi, yes, was not able to
Uh,
move forward from this whole
Yeah.
situation, but I get the feeling that he put on in a way that not intentionally, but it was like it seems like it was a hurt and it was a brokenness within him that wasn't at the surface or anywhere near the surface, even to his own knowledge. Because when him and Tsunemi like first wound up meeting, they're like flirting and hitting it off and all that stuff. I
Well,
don't
not
know.
at first
They were.
because he was a patient. He was a patient at
I know,
first.
but once he was not a patient, and they were like
Once they're okay, yeah,
immediately flirting and all that stuff. Like
yeah.
then that didn't really seem like it was.
I
Hmm.
think that
I
appears
guess
to
I
be all
guess it,
genuine.
yeah, yeah, because he wasn't in the counseling sessions for that, right? He
No,
was in the
he got
counseling
into a
sessions
crash. He
for
got into a plane
yes,
crash or something like that.
yeah, yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
So it was kind of
and
like an unforeseen, unknown injury, like emotional injury that he has that I think was kind of like hidden to him even and hidden in their relationship until I guess enough time passed by and things are moving towards the direction of like okay, am I going to marry this girl or not?
yeah, I don't know if it was hidden so much as like I guess he thought that he had made peace with it. And you see all throughout the unlock code on his phone is Yai's birthday, and his sister calls him out on it. You know what I'm saying? Um, everything. Like
I'm thinking of
when
the
when
time
when
period before the series. But yeah, during the series, yeah, I guess Eve the unlock
yeah.
code
So
is yeah.
even when Tsunemi he takes Tsunemi to meet his family for the first time, and then
Mhm.
and then their jeep breaks down, and then Bochi de Domo, his best friend, who's an amazing character. I love that guy. He's great. He's like fixing the car or whatever. He's like, wait, uh, you're not still in love with Yai, right? And he like kicks him, right? He's like, no, no, no. Clearly he is. And when he's talking to Suzuru, the whole V1 conversation about the airplanes taking off, he's like, I held on for so long. And I think so to your point, I think he kind of like he acknowledged it and like I think when during that conversation, I think he's like, oh, you know what? You're right. I did. I mean, I held on to that for
Mm.
so long.
Because he's saying
So,
he's
listen,
basically saying
there's some really good writing. Like all
yeah,
the fact that all these things connect so well.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
There's some really good writing in this
yeah, yeah,
story.
yeah.
Like
Because V
so,
one is the gear to being
it's the
basically
speed
where
at
you
which
could
you
go
have to
up
take
or
off.
you could go down, right? Yeah,
Well,
yeah.
if just before V1, you can cancel, like you can not take off. You can cancel the takeoff. Once you hit V1, velocity one or whatever, then you have to take off no matter what. So that he asked the question, he's like, "Are you going to be carried by the wind? Are you gonna face the unpredictable winds or be carried by the tailwind?" You know what I mean? And he was posing it like, there's it's not really a right or wrong answer. Like, what are you gonna do with your life? Talking to the sun, talking to Suzuru, because he's dealing with his own heartbreak, right? And at the same time he's talking to himself because right after that he has the scene, and it's, oh man, that's okay. Get into the good stuff. Okay, so
Yeah, I'm
last
done with
thing.
the negatives. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Okay, well, the last thing in the negative is the
Yeah.
mom who lied and like kept all those letters. Bro, she is evil, most definitely evil. Like, oh my gosh, like
100%. Yeah, so I do like that
I
she's
get it.
written like this as a character. I do like it, but they don't show us 100% why she's like this. They tell us, basically she's like this because of the father or whatever, and the kind of person that he
Yeah.
is. And we get to meet the father. The father winds up being like a cool guy, but then you can tell like yeah
Complete
he's
F boy.
yeah
Super F boy.
yes yeah exactly.
See, okay, so the reason why I wanted a second season, because there's a bunch of loose ends that I wanted to get tied up. So the whole thing about she has like a half sister that she ran into that one day at school. She saw her from a
Oh
distance
yeah
and then ran
that's right.
away.
Uh-huh.
Wanted to see what that was all about, and I wanted the confrontation with the mom. Why did you lie to me about this? Like we could have been together this whole time. Why did you do this? Oh, I wanted the catharsis of that. And I keep researching it every year. Are they going to make a second season? I
I
don't
don't
think they're
think
making a
so.
second season.
Again, culturally, that might be a problem. I don't know that. Are they okay with showing like a younger generation calling out their parent, and having that kind of a crazy conversation with them? Like,
Think
are they willing to go to
so?
that? You think they might be? Okay.
Maybe I don't know.
Like
Possibly.
does that break a level of like honor in
Oh,
the
I think that
culture?
honor was broken when she kept all those letters. I think that
Oh,
line got crossed a long
for
time
for the
ago.
mom, but yeah, I think like culturally, is it more okay for the parents to wind up doing something that affects the kids?
No, what I think would
Ver-
happen is um Hadamichi would be like way more forgiving and way more understanding because he understands like, listen, I understand she's mad at me because this happened on my watch, basically. You know what I mean? And that's why she wanted me to stay away in the first place. And she was trying to act in the best interest of her daughter. So as much as it hurt him and it damaged him, he had enough time to kind of process it, right? That's why
Mhm.
when they were at the observatory at the big Hubble telescope thing, he was asking about her and not angrily or like, I hope she's doing all right. You know what I mean?
Mm.
At a certain point, you grow up and you realize that people are broken and they have to make imperfect decisions based on, what's going on with them. And, I think the impression that I get is that, he realizes that the mom made the best choice she could with what she had. She feared for her daughter getting mixed up with this military guy on whose behalf she got into this car accident and lost her memory. It's
Well,
a tough call.
it's
She did the wrong thing. To be clear,
it's not
she
technically his fault, but it is. Yeah,
but she connected.
he should be taking care of her. Yes, I get that.
She
That's
sees her
yeah.
boyfriend and says it's his fault. Is it logically correct? No. It's how she was feeling emotional. Oh gosh. Yes, it's not logically correct. It's how she was feeling in the moment, and that feeling persisted.
Mhm.
Um, I'm not trying to get into I'm not trying to go into a rant about that. But um okay, so yeah, I like because otherwise the mom is like a super likable character. She's calling
Mhm.
out him for smoking. Like, if you're gonna smoke, don't be so obvious about it. Um, this is when they first meet up and everything. Um, yeah. The okay, yeah. So it's really her decision that's like, oh my gosh, this this set everything else into motion. You know what I mean?
Yeah,
The decision to like,
but again, all these negatives aren't like this is an actual like flaw that we feel like is present
this
in the
isn't a flaw with the
series.
story.
No,
This is like the negative.
dislikes
Yeah, because
in a way.
this is like, oh man, I don't like what these characters did. This is kind of a different negative because like we're not saying that like this makes it a bad show. Actually, just yeah, it makes it a really like textured show and like
Yes.
people are making like this we're basically like it's saying the negatives, but it's like there's nothing wrong with the cinematography or the editing in this. There's nothing wrong in that level. Um the only thing that's like the weakest, it's not even a negative, it's just the weakest point of the series, which is the son's B plot. Because aside from the cool music, like it's wholly uninteresting. Okay, let's get into the positives. There's all kinds of positives I want to cover in this. So,
Hmm.
um,
One
oh,
you
okay,
brought up a second ago was the so Yai winds up learning sign language to speak with the sister. Uh
Kazoku.
nice, which is incredibly
Kazoku.
cool. Yeah, it winds up leading to a really touching moment. I mean, yeah, some might feel like it's cheesy, but at the same
Right.
time,
Oh,
as an
hang
adult,
on. Oh my gosh. Uh, Sorry. What the heck? 1 second. All right, can you hear me? Am I back in?
Yeah, I can hear you. Went up real high though.
Hang on. All right. Uh, 1 second. YouTube microphone. Okay. All right. I should be back. Okay. You
Yeah,
were saying?
yeah, it's good. Yeah. So in the hospital room, um, yeah, Yaya winds up
China.
discovering that she knows sign language out of nowhere. She's like, "Why? How do I know to do this? How am I doing this? This is very strange." Yeah, but it's a cool moment. Just saying it out of nowhere like this right now, it's like sounds extremely cheesy. It's yeah,
Hang on.
it's a very fun
Last
moment.
negative. Last negative, and this is only partially a negative, right? It's just a personal like, yeah. It's a little nitpick on my side. The kid actors look absolutely nothing like their adult counterparts.
Yeah.
Nothing at all. Great actors, great kids. They're great actors, fine, except for young Hadamichi and that laugh, which okay, maybe I'm just hating. Is it that the like the overly exaggerated laugh sounds fake? I don't know. I was like, all right. Um, I whenever he laughs, it sounds so fake to me. Um, maybe that's just a cultural. I don't know, bro. I hate saying it's a cultural thing. Like maybe he's just not good at acting when it comes to laughter. Whatever.
Possibly. Mr.
And
Tom Holland apparently says that yeah, laughing is his most difficult thing to do because he doesn't think he knows how to laugh.
that's so weird. It's like they're not real people or something. I
Yeah.
don't know. It's weird.
John
Um,
Bernthal was saying that waking up is his worst thing to do when it comes to acting. So yeah.
yeah. All right.
Yeah.
So okay.
Anyways.
All right. Let's get back into the positive. Okay. Um, the little moments really work. The little moments are doing a lot of work in this series. So when Yai shows up to the campus and then Bochi, young Harimichi and Bochi are riding around the go-kart and the little motorcycle, little moped, being bad boys, being troublemakers, and she sees him and she automatically likes him.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
Um, And then at one point, she's carrying something. Hadamichi takes it, carries it himself, puts it away. He says the teacher told him to do it. The teacher didn't tell him to do it. He just did it because he wanted to help her. And then she's like, "Oh, you're the one that spilled the drink." He's like, "No, that's not me." He's like, he was excited because, "Oh, maybe you remember me from the train." You find out later on. No, okay, no, that's not it. And then he puts it out, and then he just leaves. And then the teacher comes in. And he's like, "Oh, you asked you asked how to meet you to do it, right?" He's like, "No, I didn't. Oh, he's a nice kid." And then she just has that little like kind of little smile. Fast forward all the way to the last episode where they're both on the train going to take the little test, their SAT test or whatever. And they kind of like they lock eyes for just a brief second, and then you see Yai. She kind of has that
It was
smile
like an
and
entrance exam or something like that.
something like that.
Yeah,
Yeah,
yeah, yeah.
career, whatever. Yeah,
It was to go. It was to go to the school, of
yeah, it
their
was like a
choice or
preliminary
whatever.
test to declare where they wanted to go and all that stuff, right? So, the tiny little smiles, right? The little moments. Um, there's lots of little moments. Uh, Hikari Mitsushima is a great actress, and her facial expressiveness goes a long way in this story. I mean, it sells so many scenes so well. Um, all right, what was your favorite scene? Let me ask. What's
Favorite scene? Oh
yeah.
man. Yeah, it's a bit of a rough one. Maybe yeah, one of my favorite characters, Otaro.
Okay.
Yeah, the so potentially I don't know if it's the favorite scene, but it's one of my favorite scenes. Yeah, one of my favorite scenes is when yeah, he winds up a couple times, trying to date Yae. She winds up turning him down, both times. But the second time that she winds up turning him down,
He
uh,
gets on his knees and he does this whole thing.
mm-hmm.
Okay, yeah.
Yeah,
That's actually one of my favorite scenes. But yeah, go ahead.
winds up becoming a extremely dope scene. Where he winds up accepting the situation, and yeah, it moves forward in an amazing way, and then winds up inspiring her right after. So yeah, I
Yeah.
can't
Okay.
recreate his dialogue or anything like that, but
No good yet. Nikeruna. Like the whole thing, right?
mm,
Don't give up. Okay. Few things on that. Number one, I agree. This is a great scene. The swell of the music really captures that moment. And he okay, gentlemen, you are not required to do this if a girl tells you no. No matter how politely she tells you, if she can be totally cool about it, right? And in this scene, Yae was super cool about how she gently let him down, right? Totally appropriate, totally cool.
yeah.
She says no. Hey, it is what it is. You
Mhm.
accept it graciously and you keep it pushing, right?
Didn't dodge it
No
or anything.
harm,
Yeah.
no foul. Nobody owes you anything. So we're all good on that. Now, at that point, they could have just said goodbye and went on their own ways, and everything is cool in the game.
Mhm.
He senses that, like, all right, I kind of got the sense. I mean, I put my bid in, fair enough. But yeah, you like old dude, right? Whoever that guy is, the guy that you're always texting on, you like that guy. All right. Just on the off chance that I was wrong, I'm still put my bid in. Good for him. He executed. I respect that. But he saw, and again, you gentlemen, you are not obligated to do any of this.
No, you probably shouldn't most of the time, even.
That's a good point. You probably shouldn't do this. You probably just keep pushing. Help, say a prayer for her if you feel
Uh-huh.
so inclined, and just go on about your business, right?
Mm-hmm.
Again, we're coming from an American perspective. We're coming from one totally other side of the planet, literally and figuratively. All right. But he's like, man, you know what? You need to go. You need to go for the guy that you want, right? You need to be honest with him. You need to share your feelings, and you need to don't give up. And then you see later on in the flashback or whatever that like he's like that's what he was telling her when she was like learning how to drive and how to drive in the roundabout in Sapporo.
When she
So it
almost
was
crashed into him or something, right?
she just said start and stop, and she was messing up the flow of traffic because she didn't know what she was doing. She was like, "You get her now, like don't give up. Like this, you have to learn how to do this. You have to get good at this, and you can't stop here. You can't get discouraged. Keep going." So it was particularly poignant when she said it when he said it to her in this context, and she starts crying. And he was like, he just kept it a buck with her, like he wasn't bitter. The best part about it is that he wasn't bitter. He accepted the answer and he thought of her well-being. Again, you don't have to do this. You probably should not do this in any real sense. But just the fact that he was like, he just kept the buck with her and he encouraged her and he was cool about it. And it was a good scene. And it pushed her to be honest about what she was, to finally make her confession after the fact,
Yeah.
right?
They
Okay,
they
so
they had a friendship relationship.
coworker relationship, yeah.
I mean,
And they
coworker.
were
Yeah. I think it's a friendship relationship.
sure.
On top of it, yeah. This was not just he was putting his bid in with some girl that like he just think looks fine, and doesn't
Right.
really know, and then tries to be like helping her move forward to the
Yeah.
next person. Yeah,
Yeah. No, they had some history and there was meaning behind his words, right?
yeah.
Okay, so yeah.
Genobi
Okay, my
Wine 21 says, sorry, we'll get to
go
yours
ahead.
last. My bad. My favorite is when she finds him at the end, a very satisfying ending. Hmm.
Oh, okay, yeah, the
Hmm.
last scene.
Hmm. Hmm.
Yeah, and he comes down the stairs, and it again hits it, and it hits that slow mo. All right, here's my favorite scene. Hits the same slow mo after the observatory. They're walking, and he's getting the cab for her. Right, he's trying to call a cab. He's trying to hail a cab, and the cabs aren't stopping. He's like, I'll do it. And Yai, she's behind him, just waiting. Just kind of waiting politely. He's like he's doing the app thing, trying to get her a cab, right? and she kind of does this look. She's kind of looking at her, she's checking him out, and then and then as it's happening, it just the car passes by and it hits that slow mo. Honya, honana, honya, sunkya, honya, hananana. And it is so Japanese. It is so quintessentially and idiosyncratically Japanese. Everything that's you feel, but it's you don't verbalize externally. And they're just having this moment, this quiet moment together. Um, that is my favorite. That's in episode 4, ladies and gentlemen. Episode 4, 2/3 of the way in. And I mean, they have a
On
nice
15
conversation,
seconds. Mhm.
bro. They have a nice conversation about, they have a nice conversation before that when they're sitting
Yeah.
there and their hands are like this close together. Again, playing with fire, but okay, whatever. He's trying to reconnect with somebody, and part of it, he's trying to understand like what level, where is her memory at? Where did it cut off kind of thing? He's kind of investigating that.
And a little bit of emotional adultery. Mhm.
This is where,
Mhm.
again, I agree with you, but there is a chance that like maybe it hasn't crossed that line just yet. Come episode 6, it definitely crosses the line. We'll talk about that in just a second.
Well, right after your favorite scene, we get to a moment where it's
Oh, the vending
the
machine scene.
vending machine and two
Again,
girls wind up meeting.
it's just a polite gesture, and then she gets the corn soup or whatever, and they're about to have a real conversation, and then Hanamichi, which has to be the crappiest, it's like, oh man.
Oh, and then
Um,
she winds up giving a look to the situation and knows exactly what's up.
well, so Yai introduces herself, and then she remembers the name. He's like, oh,
She
and
knows
again,
from that moment on, seeing them in person with each other, bro, that is a heartbreaking moment. I'm not saying that it's said and done at that point.
no, it's
She
not said
she
and
she
done.
she remembers that moment later on 110%.
Oh,
Reflects
absolutely.
reflects on that moment. Yes.
I mean, they're like it's a stare. They're like, I mean, they're just like they're having a moment. They're not just kind of talking
They're like
casually.
about to kiss almost, man.
I wouldn't say they're
It's
about to kiss,
it's got that
but
vibe. It's got that vibe going
oh, no,
on.
there's definitely a vibe there for sure.
Mhm.
The vibe check is like, oh man, what did I just walk into with my fiance and this woman who I don't know? And then he finds out, oh, and then the alibi that Yai gives is plausible, right? It's technically true, although technically true, but essentially leaving out details, and she hides the thing that he just bought for her and all that stuff.
Yeah.
Um, Now she didn't know. She didn't know that he was, in a relationship. And again, they met randomly at the park for the observatory, you know. Um,
Their date.
Essentially, but it's like an accidental date. Um,
She's in line to be at this observatory because it's something really special to her that she's drawn to.
right.
He
And he just
winds up
happened to be
having a
running in the
history.
park, and he was.
No, I thought he was.
She called him. She called him. She called him, and he picked up. And it turns out they were in the same place at the same time.
Yeah. But I'm saying he was. He had embarked that day to do something in remembrance, or at least an endeavor that he
I
came
think no.
to
I think he was just
appreciate.
jogging. He was just jogging through the park that day.
No. I think they were both there to look at the.
Uh,
I'm pretty sure he
he
was there to look at it
he
also.
was there for that. He was just jogging, and then he saw the sign for it as he was walking and talking, and then they ran into each other. He saw her
Okay.
in line.
Yeah, but
So,
once he saw the sign for it, then he was interested in doing it. You
well,
know?
they started talking about it, and then he realized. Oh, and then he walked right. He walked up and saw her there. So this falls under serendipity, right? He wasn't planning to be there. He wasn't planning to see her. This falls under serendipitous coincidence. But but then he stood in line with her and looked, and then they're all just sitting up looking at each other while the other one's looking at the telescope. And and then they're sitting on the grass, on the grassy knoll, having a conversation.
Mhm, mhm.
And yeah, because I mean,
And then he puts his hand on her hand, and
no,
then
no,
he
no, no.
tells
So
her,
their
"No,
hands are like right,
I'm just messing. I'm just
but
messing."
not they make it clear that they're almost touching but not touching, right?
Yeah, yeah, yeah. Mhm.
Which is a very, very Japanese thing.
Yeah. Mhm.
Kind of okay, so
At the vending machine, he was like, "I wish this was a different kind of vending machine."
did he say that?
No, 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 he
No.
didn't. I'm just messing with.
All right.
Yeah. Anyways,
So what else?
um,
What else? I like
but
the
yeah, talking a little bit more about the ending. Yeah, the ending was definitely very satisfying. It actually, it's one of those shows where, man, they wait till the last minute. Basically, it feels like the show is potentially gonna like get cut off, where they, don't actually wind up meeting, and then we're gonna have another season or something like that. But they fit in a lot. They fit in a lot of stuff in the very end of this last episode.
yeah.
It's
Only thing
so
that would have been
much.
better is if she ended up on the plane like Tom Cruise on Mission Impossible. Oh, nothing would have
Haruichi.
nothing would have made me happier just to see her on the plane. Oh,
She's
actual
like, I
stunt.
always wanted to be flying. Yeah.
Anata wa watashi wa hatsukoi da. You know, whatever. But
Yeah. And it's sweet that, he's able to be a pilot again, and
yeah.
she's able to be the airline a stewardess,
So
flight attendant that she always wanted to be.
yeah, so like like so when they finally reconnect at the end, he kind of smile. I kind of wish he had kind of broke down and cried. They're showing a little bit more emotion. That's just a little nitpick from my part. Um, but then they kiss and he picks her up and spins around. She hits that dolphin laugh. It's like, all right, here we go. I mean, she hits that dolphin laugh in a couple places in and even when she's crying, she does the dolphin cry. Remember when like the father takes the son away, takes their kid away, and she's like
Yeah.
running. She does
Yeah.
like this kind of I don't know, bro. I'm not trying to tease somebody for their laugh or their
Look,
cry.
nobody's absolutely perfect. There are gonna be some things that you're gonna have to come to love, let's say.
Listen, all I'm saying is I was on a date one time and I met the girl and we're talking and then like I heard her laughing over the phone because we talked over the phone and then we met in person and I saw the facial expression that accompanied that laugh. I was like, yeah, I don't want to do this anymore. I don't I don't want to make her laugh anymore. Yeah, so I mean, we didn't have a second date after that, and that's
That's
cool.
painful. That's painful.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It
Uh-huh.
was just like, oh, I was like, oh, a lifetime of this. Oh, mm, no. Sweet girl, I wish the best. I have no idea what's going on, whatever. But yeah, yeah. So
Look, there's some things that you can't let slide. I I recently told my wife that I think her voice is amazing. That was one of the things that won me over, cuz you are going to hear a voice a lot over the lifetime of your relationship. If you do not like that voice, oh my gosh. Give it 10, 20 years, you are going to come to potentially, hopefully, love that voice, but it could go in the opposite direction, and you could wind up despising that voice. So, anyways.
yeah. Okay, what else? I liked it's like Harumichi and Bochi were like that dynamic when they're
Mm-hmm,
kids,
mm-hmm,
the
mm-hmm.
best.
Yeah.
Um, so
No,
like he's like an
those
adopted
actors
son.
were really good, especially Yae's actress. Yeah, I definitely, like you were saying earlier, does not match the people they grow up into, especially her.
It's fine.
But yeah, they definitely chose the acting quality of the individuals over the, like, yeah, we need to match that,
Yeah.
visual aesthetic kind of element.
Their first date was kind of cool. I was like, oh, that's very sweet. Um, okay, so another thing, and the only reason I know this is because I speak just a little bit of Japanese. So you remember, like, she asked, like, "What's your favorite food?" And then he totally like he's on the top of the little rooftop on the top on the rooftop of the school. He's on top of the little entranceway, He's like, Napolitan, like I like Napolitan pasta. And she's like,
Oh,
and then she
yeah,
just kind of
yeah.
walks away. And then he realizes that he missed the moment or whatever. Um, oh, okay, gentlemen, listen. If a girl likes you, like you can be a goofball and mess up moments. And if she likes you, like you're always gonna have another opportunity to like make it right.
Yeah.
If she likes you. You know what I'm saying?
Mhm.
If she doesn't like you, no amount of smoothness and perfect timing is going to get you over that wall. You know what I'm saying? So, but when they're playing Street Fighter 2 in the bedroom, there's the sister and Bochi, his best friend, and he's playing it. He's like bunyaku. So bunyaku is Japanese word for context, and they're actually talking about eating persimmon, like kaki. You know, kaki. I think it could be a fish or it could be a persimmon, but the way they translate it in English is like something totally different. It's just a little translator's note. It's not a big deal. It doesn't really change anything in the story. But then they all start doing the chicken thing, and then the grandpa starts doing the chicken thing with him. He does a little thing. Um, and then well, so the beginning of the one episode where Yae reveals that she does sign language when they're kids. You know what I'm talking about? So
Mhm.
then Harumichi's getting ready in the mirror. They're humming the Utada Hikaru song. It's outside. And then like he starts teasing the sister. And then Boshi starts teasing the sister too, and it's just like she like kicks him on the butt, kicks him in the on the butt on the way out, and he goes kimochi, kimochi. That's one of my favorite things. Kimochi, like it feels good, it's comfortable, right? Like
Uh-huh.
he's just
Yeah,
he's just
yeah,
being
yeah.
a goofball, right? It's the
Mhm.
best. Um, yeah, but I really like that scene where like the sister, she's like she's like she's trying to get everyone's attention, and like everyone's having their own conversations, and then Yae like bridges the divide, and she like does the whole whatever Japanese sign language. I don't know Japanese sign language. All I know is kazoku, which is family. That's the one. I will never forget this, bro. I will never forget. Kagebunshin kazoku kazoku. Oh my gosh. Yep. Kazoku.
Nice.
Um.
Kazoku.
But
Great.
yeah.
Joey 121 hit us with another one. Being a mom, it definitely did kill me when her son went with the dad.
Yeah, it's tough. Bro, the craziest scene of that was when she's writing the paperwork and the tears start dropping down as she's like filling out the paperwork. Brutal. Brutal.
Man, but yeah, terrible, terrible dad. That husband.
He was a good
Ooh.
dad. He was just a crappy husband.
Yeah, unfortunately. Oh man, then him like with his mom ganging up on her and everything. Oh,
Oh yeah. Terrible people.
both
The
these
mom was
moms in here,
awful.
man. Like, goodness gracious, man. Ugh.
Yeah, just when you're feeling sorry for Yai's mom, but then you remember, no, she set her on this track by withholding all that information. And it's
Although,
like
Harumichi's family was cool. I mean,
they were
they were like the down to earth family that like yeah you were meant to like. They all
oh
wear
yeah, for
red.
sure.
They're all like full of life and vibrant and eccentric and stuff like that. Yeah, it's
And the
very
way they're
obvious.
all
Like,
watching him as he's studying and, trying to get into the school and everything.
mhm,
Very,
mhm.
very sweet, very, very heartwarming.
Yes, yeah.
Um, uh, like going back to like what I was saying about like Japanese culture being different and like accepting of things. Like going back to the whole video store scene where
Mhm.
they're picking up a movie they should not be watching. And
Mm.
then they bring it up to the counter and Yai is right there and he's like super
Oh, so
embarrassed.
great, so great.
But she's like, "Oh, I mean, they got more on this." I'm like, "All right, well, why are you all right, whatever." And then they're joking about like, the late rental fees on one of the movies that they had at the end of that one episode. So I'm like, "All right, well, they're just different." I don't know. Like what I'm like, "All right, whatever. I don't what do you want me to say?" Like I don't even know any like whatever, bro. Like they're laughing about this. What do you want from me?
In that culture, I think yeah, they know that. Even in ours, like some people might be like, "Well, boys will be boys, boys will be
it was
boys."
definitely
Now,
that, right?
would a girl at that age have that mentality with like a boy that she's interested in? Maybe she might let it slide. She
I
might
mean,
be
she
like,
worked at the video store, so like I mean,
"Yeah."
presumably oh god, was she stalking these I don't even bro, whatever. But
Unfortunately, probably was, but
yeah.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, she's interested in the dude. Like you were saying earlier, like man, girls digging you, girls digging you.
It don't
That
matter.
is, it is possible that her finding out that I mean, that culture, I don't think they deem it as a problem necessarily. I think it's encouraged even in a lot of ways in their culture. In our
Yeah,
culture, depends on where you grow up. I think a bit. I think in general with the Judeo-Christian sort of like roots of things, it's not okay. But I think there are a lot of people that would be like, you're a young boy. Okay, yeah, this is understandable.
yeah.
Don't go too
This
crazy with it, but you
is
can,
like the late '90s, early 2000s, so the internet wasn't really like the kind of thing that it is now. So like,
yeah.
just a different world, you know.
But yeah, even current day Japan though, yeah, you wind up going to a Konbini and like there are a bunch of magazines there
Oh
where
yeah,
it's
yeah,
where
yeah.
it's like, oh okay,
It's
they they
crazy.
they put the like they put it behind something where you can't technically see it just yet, but yeah,
It's
but
wild.
yeah.
The
So
scene where oh, go ahead.
yeah, Genobi's hitting us with another one. Oh wait, welcome in, Rebel Sky. It's all right that
Oh,
you're late. No worries. Yeah.
it was good. So we're talking about this series. Uh, so the confession scene where he's walking and she has him pull over the car. Yai gets out of the car and like dust, takes all the, and he brushes off all the snow off his jacket, and he
Mm,
grabs her arm and he gives her a hug, asks her what kind of food she likes. She says, Ebby, shrimp. And he's like,
shrimp is good, man.
I liked you from
Especially
the
the way they make it.
beginning. I've
Mm.
liked you from the beginning. Please go out with me. She says yes immediately because she was digging him like that. And yeah, um, that was cool. The
Boys,
first
do
the
do
first
not.
phone call, the first
Mhm.
phone call was like, oh man, I think we've all had that first phone call. We were like, oh, they're gonna pick up, and then they pick up, and you have
Mhm.
like the most
Mhm.
nothing conversation, but it feels like the whole world is expanding before your eyes.
Yep.
You
Yep.
know
Yep.
that first phone call.
Oh yeah.
Especially back then where, like, you just had the home phone, so, like, you had to, like, run and, like, it's super nostalgic for me in terms of, like, the time period that it's
Yep.
covering.
Mhm. And I'm forgetting what was the detail on the roof. There was something on the roof that she was saying that like, oh, she didn't like that, but like if she were to like somebody, like it'd be okay. There was something that there was something in the conversation where he's like, "Wait, no, was that?
Not on the
No, that was
rooftop.
no. That's when she didn't see him on the roof. There was a previous moment where she was saying something about man. I'm forgetting what the details was specifically, but it was
As a
like
as a high school student or as an
yeah,
adult?
as a high school student, it was like oh, I would only let somebody that I like put up with this for somebody that I like, and then she essentially does it with him right away,
Oh, no,
but
no, no,
he
no.
doesn't. But he doesn't realize it.
What it was asking about your favorite food.
Hmm.
What kind of food do you like? And that's the guy's way of confessing his feelings for the girl, right? So then he's drinking a soda, smoking a cigarette on the top of the entranceway, and he's explaining that to her. So then she takes a deep breath and like she closes her Namiki kun wa like, "Well, how about you? Do you like?" So she's confessing her feelings, and he's like, Napolitan. He's just like, like in that moment, he's just like, yeah, goes over his head,
Completely,
and she's
yeah.
like, okay, see ya. And then she just, and he's like, wait, 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 what just happened, right? Okay, so what I like about that is like after he realizes what a goober he was in that moment, he immediately leaves to go find where she's at and like make this right,
Yep,
make it right, or to like
yep.
it's like, hey, no, no, I actually really like you. Let's do this. Right? He was walking out in the snow. He didn't hesitate for a second.
Yeah,
He's sitting there like this. He's like, oh my gosh, I can't believe I got, how did I miss that? And then
yeah,
he just takes off immediately.
yeah.
And even while he's doing that, everyone's just making fun of him, calling him a chicken. His grandpa's like just doing the whole thing. It's a great scene
It's great.
as they're sitting there playing
Which
Street Fighter
reminds me,
2.
oh man, it's a classic game. Also, that
Yeah.
does remind me though. Hikaru Mitsushima, you definitely deserved an Oscar for one of the greatest scenes potentially in
Wait.
cinema.
Is it the one I'm thinking of? Is it the restaurant scene? Oh, okay, hang on. We'll get to that.
Okay,
That's my
we'll
second
wait.
favorite scene.
We'll wait.
Hang on.
Okay. All right.
So
We'll pause.
Bocchi and the
Yeah.
deaf sister, just the whole
Their
proposal
relationship
thing.
is great.
It's super sweet. I
Yeah.
really like.
Mhm.
So
Mhm.
I think he's like an adopted son, so he's not like family member, but
Mm.
he's like
Mhm.
an adopted
Mhm.
son. He's like the best friend. He's always there. And
Guys
so
guys and girls dream of a relationship being that clean, like that simple as far as like it seems like they just liked each other immediately and it would just it happened, you know?
I mean
There was
they're just there. Yeah, they were
yep.
just always together. So
Mhm. Mhm.
yeah,
So about that, Shinobi 121 is saying, "Here's something I missed because I don't know much about Japanese culture. I, I told my husband I thought the best friend was gay because how he dressed and
ah,
how he had his little bandana."
oh my gosh, that's funny. That
Yeah,
never
yeah,
crossed my
yeah.
mind.
I know what you're talking about. It's definitely I was aware of that being kind of like a gearhead sort of a bit of a look. You know, he has
Yeah,
that
he
kind
just
of
looks
like
super blue
mechanic.
collar to me. He's like extremely blue collar.
Yeah. But I think the way he winds up wearing that bandana is sort of like a mechanic sort of a vibe, like you know.
Yeah, that's
Mhm,
right.
mhm.
It never looked particularly gay or anything to me.
No,
Um,
no, no, no. I mean, yeah, that's partially because I was already aware of that kind of thing. But yeah, it's funny that you wind up having that interaction with your husband. And then also Shinobi 121 said, and I was surprised when he married the sister. Oh, okay. So I mean, if you thought if you thought it was one way, and then all of a sudden they're having a wedding, yeah.
she did them clippers, like went straight up. Straight,
Man, that fool's hair was messed up, but then he had a cool mohawk for the
yeah, yeah,
wedding.
yeah. And
Uh-huh.
again, like they're telling you that Hadamichi is an F boy for real, because like he's got like lipstick on his collar, and he shows up late to the wedding. Mom slaps him as she should.
Mhm.
He totally earned that slap. You know what I'm saying? But then he gives like a really heartwarming speech, and everything's cool. Um, he's okay. One thing that I really connect with is him being the doting uncle. I have a young niece. I'm a super doting uncle. How do you meet you know, I, you know, that whole thing. Uh, I get that. I really like that, just for personal reasons. What else? What else? There's a lot of a lot of
There's a
good
lot.
scenes.
There's a lot. I mean,
Um,
we gonna get to the scene that I was trying to bring up a second ago,
okay,
or okay,
yes,
yeah.
okay. So
Mm-hmm.
the build up to the scene is Hadamichi breaks up with his fiance, and he's crushed. Right? They're both crushed, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
glad that they show that because like she does this really cute thing. She's like, "All right, you're mauled by a bear in the mountains, and you don't have very long. Who do you want to speak to?" And she puts like the microphone to his face, and he has to say, "Gomen, tsunami janai desu." Like it's not you. He's like, "There's someone I can't forget." And she does this thing again with her name. I'm gonna start it. She uses her name and like the kanji, the Chinese characters of her name,
Yeah.
to describe like I'm a fixed point, or I'm this, or I'm that. I'm a star that shines on its own. I'm not gonna wait for someone who won't love me. And she kind of like pushes playfully pushes him out, and he stops for a sec. He stops for like a good like 5 seconds. He's crushed, right? And then he slowly walks out, right? And then she collapses and starts crying, and then he's just sitting in front of the door, just completely crushed, right? So then a little bit of time passes, and they make they're supposed to have Haramichi and Yai are supposed to meet up for lunch at the restaurant to enjoy the Napolitan pasta, right? So Haramichi, as he's walking up, he ends up he decides he can't go on this date with her, meet up with her, right? Even though now it's like acceptable at this point, right? Because now he's single, you know. But he's so like,
I mean, barely. But yeah, you expect it to happen where he's gonna actually show up. Mm-hmm.
yeah. So he's crushed by by ending that relationship that clearly meant a lot to him, and it meant the world to her, and he knew that he was going to be breaking her heart by doing that. So he's crushed by that. If you've ever been the person to end the relationship as opposed to one being broken up with, oh, it is. Oh man, it is brutal. So there's that part, And then there's a part like this is not the Yae that he knows that he remembers, right? This is not the same person. And just the culmination of those things, he just was not able to he couldn't meet her there. He was a mess. He was a train wreck emotionally. So then he calls, and realistically, would she not have been able to see him standing right there? He's right there, literally in her line of sight.
just outside the window. But
Oh my god.
she's looking for him. She's expecting him,
Oh my god.
so she would be looking out that window.
Uh,
110%. Yeah.
okay. Somebody, whatever.
It's
It
fine
doesn't
though.
really. It doesn't really matter. It doesn't matter. The phone call takes place, and he's like, hey, it's weird. It's like this double-edged, like this backhand. It's not a backhanded comment, but it's like a double-edged sword. Thanks to you helping me, I was able to heal. Now I can give piloting a chance. So he's gonna go overseas, and so he says goodbye. Basically, he kind of like he flakes. He doesn't flake. It's not flaking. He's making it clear like I have to end this here. Because if I go on this date, then it means like, I have to stop it here. And so at that point, Yae, she expresses regret for lying to him because she has really strong feelings for him. Anata ga suki desu. Honto wa sugoku. Like I really like. She's like, I like you, kind of love you a whole lot actually. Like I'm like hardcore crushing on you. I have super strong feelings for you. It's basically what she's saying. And you know, take care. Thank you. You know, I've always felt this way. All that stuff. And then at a certain point, like Haramichi's like, hey, Noguchi-san mo, like you too. Even if we can't meet, even though it was brief, even if we can't meet, I hope that you have like a beautiful life. He's basically saying farewell to her, right? So then he takes off, right? And he starts just kind of bawling and weeping and crying. And he sells it. It's pretty good. But man, Hikari Mitsushimi with the grand slam at the bottom of the ninth. Bro, the way she's eating that pop, bro, it broke me, bro. I was crushed.
I don't think I've seen
'Cause she's
anyone in any type of cinema,
oh,
show, uh, entertainment media of any sort cry as amazingly as she did.
and she's trying to like
Wow.
power through this delicious meal that she had been waiting for to have, like
Mhm, mhm,
everything's culminating in this moment. The music's swelling up and like, it shows
mhm,
Hadamichi just walking in this lonely
mhm,
road kind of
mhm,
thing, and he's heartbroken, he's crushed.
mhm. I was
You know,
like, "Oh, this girl an actor. Oh man, yeah, uh-huh."
that's Thespianicus, right?
Yes, yes,
Right?
yes.
Bro, there's a part where like she's trying to hold it in and like she's trying to take a bite, but she can't. Bro,
He winds up like
bro.
sighing. Yes.
And like the tears are coming down. She's trying to power through this meal, but she in that moment she just like she y'all gotta watch it. Like I can't. I'm trying to explain what cannot
Dude,
be
a
fully
worse
explained.
actor would have done this so simply. Mm-mm, mm-mm. The amount of texture to her performance in this moment, incredible.
Like she like oh my gosh, bro. And it's like it's not like she's being rejected, right? It's not like I don't have feelings for you.
Mm,
It's that like it's like I can't do this. I have to get away from you because like
yeah.
this and it's not explained why, right? And the crazy thing about it all, the best part of it is like, okay, so later on it shows like Suzuru is helping him like pack and move out. He's still got the porno mags or whatever. He's letting you know he's still kind of an F boy, whatever, right? So then he goes back to his mom's house for lunch, presumably on an afternoon or whatever. And he's like, yeah, Haramichi broke up with his girlfriend. And she's just, oh, bro, the way she's just like making, and there's like, it's so Japanese, bro. It's so Japanese. Oh my gosh. She's just kind of like, expressionless as she's making the dinner. And oh, he broke up with her. Oh, and the son not aware of what's going on between them. He's like, yeah, I'm pretty sure she dumped him. He, you know, he's a butthead. Like that kind of. And He doesn't know that they had the kiss. We haven't even talked about that, but like he doesn't know all the backstory, right? We know it as the audience. He doesn't know that. He's looking for he gets the CD, the Discman, he puts the batteries in, he's listening to Utari Hikaru song. And then they're sitting out there in the balcony and she's watching the airplane fly by, and then all of her memories come back. The sensory overload and all of her and she starts weeping, she starts crying,
Mhm.
her face starts
She
twitching.
sees the CD, right?
No, she's listening to First Love.
Oh, she's just listening to it. Yeah.
That's the song that she was listening
Yeah.
to on the
Yeah.
roof of the high school when he goes in for the kiss, right? When they're teenagers and they're high school students. So it's the combination of that and everything that had happened up to this point, right? Because earlier she had the lilacs, right? The lilacs, she smelled the lilacs that she got from Otaro, who Otaro got from Haramichi, from the first episode. So it's like all these little sensory inputs that are all kind of culminating in this moment. And as much as I've been ragging on
This is a bit of
Suzuki,
a thing not to do. Sorry, the lilac situation. If you find out a girl that you date winds up liking a certain kind of flower, do not take that rose or flower or whatever to another girl that you wind up dating later on. I'm gonna
oh,
say find a different flower. But anyways,
oh yeah,
yeah.
no, don't double dip. Don't
Hmm.
double dip.
Hmm.
Like, yeah, okay, yeah, don't do that.
It
Dear
works
God,
for the
don't do that.
story, but you shouldn't be doing it. Yeah. Anyways.
Right. Okay, so then it's funny because like Suzuru sees Yai, his mom, like freaking out, and he just kind of lets. The beautiful thing about that is that he just kind of lets her have that moment. He doesn't immediately go to console her. He's like, he sees it clearly. She's going through something. He doesn't know what it is at that moment, but he just kind of lets her have her like he just lets her feel whatever she's feeling. It's very Japanese, but like in that scene, I think it really worked. He was like, "Mom, Daijoubu, no, no, she's having a moment, and I'm gonna let her have her moment." And then the episode ends. And in the biggest like Netflix like jerk move, like the credits roll, right? So the first time I watched it, I was like, "Oh, that's the end of it. Oh, so we're getting a second season." No, you have to wait for that whole song before the next episode bar, the little button shows up. So like for a long time, I'm like, I thought it was 8 episodes long, and then I had to go and I found that oh, there's a I scrolled down, I was like, "Oh, there's a ninth episode? Why didn't it automatically go to the next episode?" The reason is because they wanted you to listen to that whole song. If you listen to the whole song, then the little thing, next episode. I was like, "Oh, you little boogers. I can't believe you guys did that to me." Anyway,
That might have been
anyway,
the director. The director may have requested for something like that happen.
you little stinkers. So, yeah, all the memories come back, and then like everything makes sense. Like now she understands why he had to bounce, right? Because now she remembers everything, and now everything he did is now understood in context, right? Um, and just the weight of that, like it's just it hits her, but she doesn't know where she doesn't he didn't say where he was taken off to, and then she had all these emails, text messages that she was, almost sent to him but didn't. So she had the
Mhm,
phone number,
mhm.
but she didn't know where he was at. And she was scared to reach out to him because it was like there's just so much there, you know what I mean? And sometimes it's like it's paralyzing. As I get older and I realize just how frail people are, and I would love to be like, well, you should do that. You should reach out. You should. And that might be correct, but like people aren't correct. People are people. And in a Japanese context where things are not stated explicitly, and it's like there's all these
Mhm,
things
mhm,
happening,
mhm,
and then it plays on the whole COVID thing. So now she can't
mhm.
go anywhere. She was about to leave, now she can't leave, and then finally, like Archie girl links up
Uta,
with
yeah,
with Suzuru. Yeah,
because
Uta links up with Suzuru.
because it has to happen apparently storyline wise. It's
She
fine.
takes a
It's fine.
she takes
It's
a
it's not
dusty
that great,
iPhone
but
picture and then zooms in, and oh, that's Harumichi. Oh, he's in Reykjavik, Iceland, right?
that was so weird.
Um,
But it's okay.
and apparently, Yai has filled them all in and all the details of what happened and all that stuff. So now they're aware of the situation. They let her know. Now she's off the Iceland to go get her man, right?
She winds up
And
going back home first, right? And then like goes into the ground and finds their their time capsule. Isn't that didn't that
Oh, she
happen?
did that at the beginning of the last episode. Of the
Yeah,
final episode,
yeah,
she
yeah.
went back to the tree, because in episode 8, they had buried it, and then she went back and, again, jogging all of her memories, and she reads the letter. "Hey, I did all this because I love you, and you're my reason for living, da 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 da." And apparently he went back and wrote a PS, which is wild, right? And it's very Japanese. It's very understated. I would love to hear your story, whatever. Um, in America, I can't wait to hug and kiss you, hold you in my arm. They're not gonna say all that in Japan. Like, I would love to know your story. I'd love to hear your story. Cool. So then she goes to Iceland, and the cutest thing in the world is Hikari meets Simi saying thank you in Icelandic. Took winners, took, and then she's running, and then we hit that scene that Genobi One was talking about. He's about to board the plane in that leather bomber jacket, which is that bomber jacket is looking nice, super fresh. That is one of the cleanest jackets I ever seen, bro. How did
He's full on pilot of his own plane.
yeah, the way he said it, yeah, yeah. And then he comes down, and then they start charge. She goes like a linebacker. She just charges him, and then they hug. And oh, you're my first love. Oh, you remember? Now we can make out for real. And that kiss was a little awkward. It was much better than the first kiss. Let's go back to that first kiss. So they're going on the tram, and then like so she's asking him what kind of high school student he was.
Guys, I think Austin likes this series.
Okay, so they're on the tram going up, and she's like, "Oh, I can see the Prince William boat or whatever." And then she's like, "Oh," they see two high school students sitting across from them, and she asks him like, "Oh, what kind of high school student were you?" And he basically talks about, "Oh, there's this girl I really liked, and she doesn't know it's her, blah blah blah." But then again, bro, the way they hit the slow mo in a few moments in this show that just really
Oh
worked for
yeah,
me.
yeah, yeah. Was
He's
that?
looking at the other one. He
And
sees them.
she's in it, right? She's in that
the,
one.
the two of them as high school kids on
Yeah,
the other tram,
yeah.
and he just kind of turns around and is like, so at this point he's actively trying to jog her memory, right? That's the only reason they went there in the first place, right? Have you ever been to Mount Tengu or whatever? He's like, at this point he's trying to jog her memory, and on some level I think he's trying incorrectly, immorally, but he's trying to get out of his current relationship that he's not happy in. He's not doing it the right way, to be clear.
Which is part
And
of the reason why he doesn't go into that restaurant. Yeah, he knows he's not doing it the right way.
well, yeah, that's after they broke up. I mean, he's already a mental and emotional wreck at that point. But
Yeah, but even though like he's still, I think, a little bit guilty for doing it immorally for a little bit. Yeah.
yeah. Okay, so then they go to the mountaintop, they're looking over Sapporo, and then there's a flashback to her giving that speech in English. That- listen, English is not her first language, so the attempt is admirable.
You
Um,
know, they could have found somebody
I'm
to
taking
help
my first step.
because she
Bro,
was praised so amazingly for how
that's what
good
I'm
she
saying.
gave that speech.
I know. So this is something that doesn't come across clearly if you're a Japanese viewer, but if you're an American viewer or if you're a European viewer who speaks English, you're like, ooh. You know what it reminded me of? It reminded me of that scene at the end of Last Samurai where the emperor's like, "I have dreamed of a unified Japan." Oh, it's rough, bro. It's rough. I'm just saying. Oh,
Dude, the
oh.
craziest thing I've had in my experience, and it's actually very amusing as an American, and 100% the flip side would happen if we were to try to communicate fluently in Japanese. They'd be able to rip us apart in our
Oh,
Japanese
bro,
too.
bro,
It's
bro.
totally fine. It's totally fine. We can
Are you
point
are
this
you
stuff
kidding
out.
me?
Yeah.
Watashi wa
Uh-huh. Tokyo. Yeah, I know. I know.
Tokyo. Oh my god.
Yeah, no.
Osaka. Osaka.
Oh, that's
Osaka,
crazy.
Osaka potatoes, bro. Like, oh my god. Yeah, bro. Listen. Listen, like I said, the attempt and you know, like again, they're not native English speakers, so we're not really. I'm just saying it was
No,
like
yeah.
okay.
No, it's amusing, but come on. We know there are consultants for these kinds of things, you
No,
know?
the only reason I bring it up is because like we're at a high emotional point, right? And then it cuts to that. I'm like, and I don't think they were intending for it to be like it's just gonna take you out if you're an English speaker. If you're a native English
Unfortunately.
speaker,
Yeah.
you'll be like, oh wow, that's kind of jarring. But like, all right.
Mhm. Mhm. Mhm.
But then it
Yeah.
goes back to
So
her giving this
I was
speech,
gonna
you know.
say, no, I was gonna say really fast though. Um, so actually, talking about first loves and like first songs, I think this was like the first CD that she had or something like that, or first cassette or whatever. For Yai, one of my firsts, my first, I think, yeah, cassette, CD, yeah, piece of album. It's not even an album technically. Song that I ever owned was R. Kelly's "I Believe I Can Fly" from Space Jam.
Oh, Space Jam. Okay, wait. It was R. Kelly technically, but it was on the Space Jam soundtrack.
Yeah, yes.
It
But
had
it
multiple
was
artists.
no, it was no, I think it was just a single.
Oh,
I
okay.
want to say it was just a single.
Got
So it
it.
wasn't
Okay,
like
fair enough.
the whole soundtrack or
Yeah,
anything like that.
I had that
'Cause-
whole sound. That soundtrack is a classic.
yes, indeed.
Basketball shoes,
Yeah,
I got a
yeah, it was
basketball.
always a little confusing sometimes when they'd sell the singles and then sell like the full album. Like I
Yeah.
probably should have got my hands on the full album or whatever. Anyways, got that. Now, cut to I was in Korea one time and I was at this giant sort of what was it, conference, and there was like a festival. There was like a lot of music happening, musical performances, and they had like I don't know if it was a competition. I think it was more so like, oh, okay, here are a select group of people that are going to do performances. One of the performances was "I Believe I Can Fly," and,
All right.
and if you and if you're not aware, look, there's some things that aren't present in the Japanese, um, not I don't know, lexicon, vocabulary.
Oh, they
I
were
don't know,
singing "I Can Believe I Can Fly."
and Koreans
Oh,
indeed. I think it's a few of the Asian countries.
oh.
R and L, and this is why it's been made fun of in different types of media. Is just not something that is distinguished between.
Oh no. You know the worst part about this? There's a part of me that automatically wants to like make my own rendition of what I think it would sound like, and and I can't because it's I already know I'm wrong. I
Yep.
already morally I'm
Yep.
wrong. The minute I try to like verbalize what I hear it in my head, bro, we're gonna get demonetized. We're not even making money, bro. We would never get
We're not
monetized.
making money. If we were to make money, once
Oh
we
my
make
goodness.
money, we're going to be retroactively demonetized because of this.
Oh my gosh.
But
Oh.
yeah, let's say the lyrics changed a little bit, just a little bit, to "I Believe I Can Fry," and singing
Oh, this
about cooking for.
there was a viral clip of somebody from somewhere. I'm not sure which Asian country, but it was an Asian gentleman, and he was singing Mariah Carey's "Touch My Body."
Look.
So if you're familiar with that song, um, it's not one of Mariah Carey's best songs, but it was popular for a period of time. You know, um, it turned into whatever. It turned into "Touch My Buddy" or something. It was an accent thing. Whatever. I'm not
Okay,
gonna read.
okay. Sorry to take over this long, but
Okay, but going
yeah.
back
It
to
was
that,
it was funny. It was funny. Anyways,
yeah.
yeah.
So going back to that scene, I mean, so aside from the scene in the restaurant where she's crying, this is probably one of like her best acting scenes because she's giving this whole talk about like in my inconsequential, irrelevant, insignificant life. Deep down, I feel like I've
Mhm.
lost something critically important,
Yeah.
and then she catches herself. Sumimasen, like, excuse me, and then like, all right, it's time to go because the overhead, the PA system, there, last call, we're leaving, and then he grabs her arm, pulls her in, and gives her that super awkward. This is what the kiss. I mean, if you like, this is what the kiss looks like, you know. And then, but if you can get past that awkward, like non-committal kiss,
People, close your eyes when you kiss, okay? Yeah.
I mean, their eyes were closed, so I'll give them
Mhm.
credit for that.
Just throwing that out for some people that need a little help sometimes.
Oh man. Yeah, bro. Yeah, listen. There's nothing worse. Listen. The reason why, gentlemen, the reason why if you're kissing a lady, the reason why you close your eyes is on the off chance that she opens her and you guys both looking at each other. But there's you got to end the relationship. It's over. You got to break up. Like there's no salvaging that.
Nope.
There's nothing more awkward than just looking at, oh, bro. Like no. Eyes need to be closed while you are engaging in a kiss with a lady. Like that's what you got to do. Okay.
Yes.
Um,
Continue.
so immediately after the kiss, the way the episode ends, where they're just kind of looking at each other and it's just silent before he says sorry, but like they're just kind of looking at each other, and then like you can tell that it was like a different take because like in the next episode, it's like it just looks a little bit different.
Yeah.
He says sorry. Yeah, and that sorry doesn't land. You can't kiss somebody like that and then like just say sorry. It doesn't work. You've already crossed the
That's
threshold,
not an accidental thing. Yeah.
No, because she
Mm-mm.
was walking away from him. He grabbed her arm and pulled her in, and then I mean, her head just went boom, and then they're kissing, right? Now they have a nice, interesting. Again, now we're in a weird. That was wrong, right? And he recognized it was wrong. And he tries to like make it right with her. He meets her at where she gets off work, and they go for a walk and they talk about it. And he apologizes. So like he recognizes that he was wrong. And I think at that point, he may have been like there may have been some cognitive dissonance. He may not have realized that like the lines that he was crossing, but clearly he crossed the line. They had the whole little ice cream thing. Um, I even learned a new vocabulary where he's like, I allow myself to eat this ice cream when something good or when something bad happens. And he stupidly asks, "Oh, which one is it?" And she just kind of looks at him, right? Her range is incredible. She's kind of and he's like, "Oh, gumon deshita." Gumon is like stupid question. That's an idiotic question. They even have a word for it in Japanese, gumon deshita. That was a stupid question. That was a stupid question. But then they have a moment and it's not romantic. They're just talking and he's like explaining how awesome his fiance is. And one of my favorite parts about that is like he apologized and then she tries to play it off like she doesn't have feelings for him or like it didn't mean anything. And I'm like, girl, stop lying. Bro, come on. You could tell like the way he's acting is like because he didn't say, oh, okay, oh, well, I'm relieved. He's like, no, he just was quiet. He's like, yeah, I know you don't mean this. Um, and I love that. I love like from an acting perspective and just from like the dynamic. She was like, oh, oh, everything's good. I savor the moment and I move on, just lying through her teeth, right? And I understand why she has to do that because he put her in like a really awkward, compromising position. She knows that he's engaged, and so what he's doing is completely wrong. And he owns up to it, immediately as far as the timeline of the show is. Again, they're still watching the sunrise. I'm like, all right, that's super romantic.
Pretty bad.
Um,
Yeah.
but it's in the context of him trying to make something right and addressing it directly. I mean, because he said sorry on the text. He saw that she's like, oh, daijobu desu, like just not dealing with it at all. You know what I'm saying? And so
Yeah.
the only way to really deal with it was to, meet her at the end of her shift and, do all that thing. And they have like an interesting conversation. And that was that. So
Yeah. Shinobi 121 has said Austin's never been more excited about any other movie series in the history of this podcast.
is that true?
His true comfort show.
Is that true? It might be.
This is very true.
I remember being pretty excited about Demon
Brother,
Demon Slayer.
you were literally quoting this show.
Oh yeah. I've seen this
Across
several times.
nine episodes worth of content.
Oh yeah.
Man.
Okay, yeah. So like I can get through this whole thing in like 2 hours. I just speed run through all the sun stuff. And I don't even watch all the episodes. I just speed run to like all the greatest hits. Boom, 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 boom. All the flashback stuff for the most part, I can just kind of like, when she's in college and she's all Miss Popular, like just all the military stuff, zip, all that stuff can go. It's good to watch the first time, but once you know what the story is, like to sit through all of that, like I don't know. You can just speed run through this whole show. Um,
Mhm.
There's actually one
You're like, I
scene where
don't
like
think this girl's about to win any beauty contest. No, I'm just messing.
no, no, no. I mean, she's a pretty girl. So there's a scene where uh, when Yaya is an adult and she's like working and she's working overnight, like working the night shift at the factory, and the guy's like got laid off or he's leaving or whatever, and she's like in the little like the room where like I don't know, she's wearing like one of those suits or whatever, and it's like drying her off or whatever. There's some like really artsy scenes and like it's just showing her like just trying to survive, like just having in these like these kind of dead end jobs and just trying to like make it through and make enough money to support her son who's like really young at the time. And it's like, oh, yeah, I resonate with that. You know what I mean? Like it's grimy out here. Like you're trying to do things
Although
and
you would think that she would be supported completely by her former husband to some degree, but
yeah.
legally things probably work a little differently, and she wants to work. Yeah.
Yeah, and there's that one scene where with her and the mom, and like the mom's kind of drunk and she's just saying things she shouldn't be saying. And then she was like, oh yeah, I used to be really, about being like, in the beauty pageant or whatever. Because basically the mom is like really angry at life that this happened, that she lost her memory and like she lost her life as a result of it. Now she's just kind of back home, just trying to survive, and the marriage failed because the husband was a jerk, and the mother-in-law was a monster. So now she's just kind of back home and
Although the husband, ex-husband, he does have a moment of growth by the end. I forgot what the moment was specifically. I think it was like letting the son was it go with her at a
yeah,
certain
like
certain
visitation
point,
rights
or
basically.
no, it was beyond the visitation rights. There was a moment where he wound up actually giving him like something. There was a constructive moment in the present day. I forgot what it was specifically, but yeah, there's a moment where it's like there's some indication that the ex-husband is growing beyond like who he was as this like totally completely rigid sort of mama's boy. Yeah.
Yeah, I'm trying to think.
I'd have to look at the series again to find it, but there is like one indication. I think yeah, it was some sort of like Yaya wanted her son to like come over or something, and
Yeah,
I
so
feel
they were
like
talking on the phone, and then I mean, you see her in the first episode, you see that she's like depositing money into an account for him, and yeah, she's like, I want, I'm moving to the city, so I want to be able to see him more or whatever. Because she was moving out of the countryside back into the city, so I want to see him more often. And she was like, yeah, it's your son, you know. So like he was a good father, he was just a crappy husband. Um, which is, I mean, it happens, you know what I'm saying? Like, uh, yeah,
yeah, that's the biggest strength of the show. I feel like it depicts some realistic
yeah.
life situations.
It's like,
Mhm.
yeah, it's like you see that in real life. It's like, like yeah, he's a good father. He was a bad husband, but like, do you want to hurt your children by keeping withholding access to their father just because he failed you? It doesn't mean he's failing the kids. It's messy. People are super freaking messy. You know what I'm saying? So like, but yeah, I mean, this movie, this show, this series kind of illustrates some of that stuff in a Japanese context.
Yeah,
Um,
yeah. Well,
is there
man,
anything else?
I'm kind of yeah, done in a way. Yeah, I was trying to figure out a way to say it differently. I can't think of anything specifically. Maybe will come to mind this right this
Yeah,
moment.
I feel
I don't
like I
think it's
covered
going
it.
to specifically. So, did wind up liking the show quite a bit. Like I said at the beginning, I think it's awesome. I think it's obvious. This is one of Austin's most hated shows he's ever watched. He actively has to rewatch it
I've hate
every
watched
a
this
few
show so
days.
many times, you guys. You have no idea.
Yeah, just picking apart all its flaws. Figuring out how to make a better story. A little
Yeah,
research.
again, I think this show is unique and distinct from like most other J dramas. Most
Yeah.
of them are pretty straightforward, and you either like the characters or you don't. There's not a whole lot of complexity to the characters
Mm. Yeah,
compared to what's going on in this show.
It does depend on the show. I haven't seen enough, but yeah, I've seen a variety. I think
Most
this one
most
feels a
of
little
them are
bit more
pretty
intelligent.
cookie cutter, and that's not a bad thing.
Yeah, they
Um,
almost have a little bit of an anime feel to them, to a good number of
yeah,
them, which is fine. Just plays into the kind of humor or story that want to be told. Yeah, but this one, good. Yeah, really, really good.
yeah. All that said, there's a lot of rewarding moments if you're watching it all the way through. There's a lot of things. I think Kanchiku goes out of her way to really like reward the viewer for time spent viewing it. You know what I'm saying?
hmm
So yeah,
Yeah,
and like the
I've been looking
editing.
forward to what they do next, but I don't think there's anything on the horizon. Surprisingly.
No, I think this is a one and done. The series is one and
Well,
done.
not for this series, but Kanchiku doing another.
I haven't
Um,
heard anything or seen
yeah,
anything yet
yeah.
recently. So
Hmm.
um yeah, I'd be very curious to see what she does, what her next project is. And um yeah, I think this is a pretty solid show. And
You know
yeah,
what? This reminds me a little bit of that. Is it Korean? Yeah, the Korean movie Past Lives. I'm not sure if you wind up watching this. It has Greta Lee in it. It
oh
is a good film, but
yeah, that's not a Korean.
that's like how to do
Greta
this
Lee is
situation
Korean, but
problem.
it's not a Korean film. It's kind of like there's a Korean actor, but it's like an American film with a Korean actor, and
Yeah, that's right.
there's a
That's
part
right.
of there's part of the movie that takes place in Korea.
That's right. By
Um,
director
I,
Celine
I ended up
Song.
hating that movie.
Yeah,
The movie's well acted and everything, but just like the simping, the cucking and the simping of the husband is so gross in my view.
it's
Again,
bad. It's really bad.
that takes place in New York. So the boundaries and whatever, that's an
Different, yeah,
American
different
Western,
culture for sure.
complete this American culture and that crap. I don't know what the hell, bro.
It's really
Listen,
bad. It's really bad. Hmm. Yeah, it's a
the fact
well-made movie, and uh, cannot stand. Yeah, we both agree on that. We cannot stand for what this husband's let slide. Terrible,
yeah.
terrible.
Oh yeah,
You
she
want to see a bad example of how to go about this kind of stuff? Go watch
yeah.
that movie, and don't be like that husband.
Yeah, don't be like that wife either. She's basically emotionally having an emotional affair with her
100,
old
110%.
friend.
Yeah.
Um
Another mini review right in our review. Yay. So,
like I
anyways,
yeah.
it reminded
All
me
right.
just at a glance a little bit. There's some a little bit of overlap here or there, but anyways,
Kind of very,
only
very
brought it up because I was trying to mention it earlier in my speed run. And I couldn't think of it to make a slight comparison, but anyways,
all right. I'll send this out.
yeah.
Ladies and gentlemen, this has been our review of the Netflix series First Love, also known as Hatsukoi in Japan. We thank you for joining us this evening. If you have not done so already, we would be very much appreciative and obliged if you would like, subscribe, and hit that notification bell. Ding, 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 ding.
Thank you everyone
That-
that does already. We
Yes,
appreciate you so much.
so that you can be notified for all of our future live stream, movie, and or series review. What do we have next on the docket? What did we say we were going to do next week?
What was it? Let me see. Let me pull it up. I don't think it ends. That might be a week after. Um, okay, yeah, it ends is the week after. Uh, I think it's the end of Oak Street. It might be the end of Oak Street.
Okay.
I'll double check. Did we wind up putting out a? We've basically decided all our films through like almost September, more or less.
Yeah,
I'm
through the
not
end of August.
sure. End of August for sure, but then we also have extended it beyond into September. One of the later ones in September is Resident Evil that I'm definitely looking forward to. Let me see. I don't think we put out that post yet, like we
Is this
typically
a
do.
new Resident Evil? Is this like a reboot from the Mila Jovovich movies, or is this
No,
a Mila
not.
Jovovich movie?
No, definitely not. Thankfully not. I had fun with those to some degree, but yeah. Okay, so soon we'll post up our next, like, I don't know, probably like 5 or 6 films, honestly, that we'll be watching. Probably 4 at a time. But yeah, no, the Resident Evil film that's coming out next month is by director Zach Kreger, that did the Weapons movie last year, and he did the movie Barbarian. From what I
Oh,
understand, it's not adapting any one game in particular. He is a fan of the series, from what I understand. He's tried to do his own story with the Resident Evil sort of like conceits or type of elements that are present in a Resident Evil film, a la, you know, someone going into an area by themselves. There's a, present danger. There's multiple zones. Like, so yeah, he's kind of like broken down what makes something Resident Evil, because we've had like different Resident Evils, different groups, but there's always some connective tissue that makes it a Resident Evil. This is like, yeah, his story with the Resident Evil sort of framework.
got it. Okay.
Yeah.
Um. So yeah, we will let you guys know. Follow us on Instagram, and yeah, we'll keep you posted on what we're gonna do. Otherwise, yeah, I think we're good. Are we good?
We good.
Oh my goodness,
All right.
10:26.
Merrick Wolf, thanks for joining us today. Genobi 121, thank you always for joining us. You're amazing. Rebel Sky 3549, again, another one of our phenomenal community members. You guys are fantastic. Uh, the
The
Rivals.
rivals.
The Rivals. Hmm. What is the Rivals? Is that one of them? Is that what we're doing? Oh, wait a second. My bad. I think next week we're doing. It was the new Matthew McConaughey film. Yes, The Rivals of King Amzia. The Rivals of Amzia King. It is a
Amaziah or whatever. That one.
Amzia. Yes. So yeah,
All right.
sorry, not in Evoke Street. Do want to watch that movie, but no, we're doing The Rivals of Amzia King.
All right.
So if you want to join us next week, yeah, we'll post that up. But yeah, check out that film and come on back next Monday. We'd love to talk to you about it. Please give us your
All right.
opinions. Tell us how right we are. Tell us how wrong we are. We want it all. Thank you.
Yeah.
And
All right.
we do sometimes watch movies, but sometimes we just watch trailers and comment on them.
All right. Well, I'm Austin.
I am Josiah.
We're the Super Cinema
This is
Bros.
Riku.
We are signing out. Yeah. So yeah, we'll have something up for this in a week. We can't wait to see you guys again. Thank you for joining us. Have a wonderful week. Until we meet again, may the Lord bless and keep you. May his light shine upon you. May he give you his mercy, his grace, his joy, and his peace. I think I repeated myself, but
Man, double blessings. It's always
double
good.
blessings. Have a wonderful, wonderful 7 days until we meet again. And yeah, we'll catch you in the next one. So until
Right.
then, God bless.